Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Davey Deathray here with a little bit of a different kind of late night with the Davey, because it's not very late, first off the list. And second off the list, this wasn't what I was planning on doing today, but I'm sure you guys have seen, all of you Stranger Things fans out there have seen all of this conformity gate. I want to call it nonsense because I'm like, what the hell does that even mean? What do those two words mean together? This is all like kind of brand new to me because I guess I saw like a couple things yesterday and was like, I just don't have the headspace for that right now. Like I've got work and other stuff I'm trying to do with the channel and everything like that. So I'm just sort of like, oh my gosh, I can't hop on another Stranger Things, tangent or whatever. And let's just be honest, this whole like secret real finale, the idea that there's gonna be something that Netflix and the Duffers and all the actors and actresses have been able to like keep secret or keep under wraps or are openly lying about at this point. I guess we'll find out in about 49 minutes or so. I don't expect this to be real, but I think it's indicative. That's the right way to say the word. It's indicative of fandom and how jazzed we get about something that we love, how we on the one hand don't want it to end, and on the other hand certainly don't want it to end not very well. I mean, the series finale of Stranger Things was the best episode of season 5, but yeah, season 5 was pretty damn rough, and I don't know, I think it could have certainly gone better. So I totally understand why people don't really want to believe that the end was the end. And we're going to get into this. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see what happens here in, just over 45 minutes. I don't expect that anything is going to come of it, but I do have a little something planned for us to do if that 8 p.m. Eastern hits and there's no secret special episode. And before we really get going on all this, of course, I'm going to jump in and say what's up to you guys and all that good stuff. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the notification bell. That way you get notified before I go live or when I drop a new video, all that kind of fun stuff. Yesterday I shot my top 10 horror movies of 2025, so I'm going to be in the editing process for that. And then on Friday night, I believe it's going to be pretty late, 10 p.m. Eastern, I'm doing an actual late night on Friday. We're going to do a live audience tier maker ranking of the 2025 horror films. So I'll give you guys my top, and then we'll see where you guys stack them against one another. And then I think I'm going to do a top 10 worst horror movies. I mean, I already have the list made, so I might as well shoot the damn thing. It's just all about editing and all of that kind of stuff. But really quick, before I say hello to you guys, shout out to our moderator, Erica, who is the one that kind of filled me in on all this stuff. We were, chit-chatting on Discord and stuff like that. Because I'm like, what the hell is this conformity gate crap? And she's like, well, I've posted a bunch of stuff in our TV channel. Oh my God, I went into that channel on our Discord server, which, by the way, the link is pinned in the chat if you want to join our Discord. It's really fun, totally free. We watch movies in there. It's great. We share a whole bunch of different stuff, and Erica does a really good job running that. So shout out to her for that, but also for getting me caught up on all the conformity gate stuff. So I'm going to say what's up to you guys. Then we'll read, I'll kind of explain what this is all about just based on, what I've seen. We'll ask a couple questions. We'll see what happens here at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then we'll have some fun either way. So it's either going to turn into an impromptu watch party, which I highly doubt, or we're going to have some fun with another little kind of activity for you guys. So yeah, we should be having a great time either way. There we go. There's the Discord server link. Yeah, it is pinned in the chat, so please feel free to join up on over there. We have a lot of fun. Also, there is a poll in the chat. I'm sure you guys can see right when you join the stream, so you can let me know what you think about this whole thing, and we'll certainly get into that. We got Shot by Shot, one of our great channel members, jumping in, says Netflix just confirmed it's fake. Yeah, I mean, there's been talk for, I think, since it started coming out, that from the official word has been that it's not real. I mean, the Duffers even said something that I guess, like, I on the one hand have a tough time believing, and on the other hand I'm like, oh, I guess that tracks. They're like, we didn't cut anything from season 5. I'm like, yeah, no shit. You guys had a bunch of crap in there that didn't even have to be there. So no shit, you didn't cut anything. You should have, should have hired another editor, somebody else to give it another pass, maybe. We got Sickly Video jumping on in, says, I'm remaining hopeful. Yeah. It works either way. All the Easter eggs people are freaking out about could very well be pointing to the fact that Vecna won, and it's still a satisfying ending. Well, there you go. We got Adrian James in the house. How you doing, Adrian? So good to see ya. Antonis Andriotis, what's happening, Antonis? We got King Matthew. What up, Matthew? There she is, Miss Erica Stabs for likes. So look out. If you don't hit the like button, she will come after you. Thank you so much for joining us, Erica. Erica's also a channel member as well as being a moderator here. We got Gene Whitacombe. How are you doing, Gene? So good to see you. Lamontre Gillard is hanging out. What's happening, Lamontre? Always a pleasure having you join us. We got Linda. Linda, one of our great channel members. How are you doing, Linda? So good to see you. What do you think, Linda? Are you a believer in the conformity gate? I still don't understand what that's supposed to mean. I'm trying to wrap my head around it whenever I see the word conformity or conform. I don't like it. I don't like that word. To me, it's a bad word. I mean, I guess maybe it's a good word in like scientific research or something like that, but it's a word that just is kind of creates some dissonance in my brain for whatever reason. Let's see who else we got here. We got the Fromaholic Fletcher says, we got the Joyce live stream. We're all in denial because that ending was that bad. And I think the ending was the best part of it. But if you mean the ending as far as like season 5, if let's count season 5 as the ending, yeah, it is. It's not getting a passing grade from me. Yeah, if it's pass fail, I think it is kind of a fail. I would give the whole season like a C-, D+. It's so harsh, especially because I'm not like a Doom tuber and I'm not here to like shit on everything. It's just, man, the show was so good leading up to season 5. Like seasons 3 and 4 were so good, and then season 5 was like, we forgot how to write and make television. That's just what it seems like anyways. Look at that. We got Miss Ray in the house, another one of our great channel members and Death Squad mods. How are you doing, Ray? So good to see you. So great to see you. Guys, we're going to talk about Stranger Things, but I do have to let you know, I have got the biggest fucking crush on this girl, Ray. I just have to let you know. I have to put it out there in the universe. Got to get it off my chest. 2025 was a year full of hurt and darkness and sadness and all sorts of other stuff. And I was like, I don't know if I'm ever going to like anybody ever again. Fuck that shit. No one can bring peace. No one can ever make me feel butterflies in my stomach. It's all been ruined. And I'm just going to turn into a stone wall of a man and all that kind of stuff. But Ray, you broke through, Ray. You broke through. There you go, guys. A little bit of a personal touch here from the Davey Deathray stream with all 34 of you guys. Hit the like button if you believe in whatever it is. If you believe that this world isn't a total piece of shit. Thank you so much for joining us, Ray. Really appreciate you. And Erica, thank you for bringing Ray into our orbit. Thank you so very much. We got Matt from Fachi Cinema. What's happening? Matt says, Davey, my love, what's shaking? Nothing much, man. Just trying to break into, 2026 strong. I got sick at the end of the year. I still feel like there's a smidge of that hanging on. It's just been kind of driving my energy down. But I do have, top 10 horror of 2025, top 10 worst of 2025. And I still do want to do like a channel update video and all that kind of stuff. And we have the horror movie club starting for our channel members. So I believe our first meeting is going to be, well, I'll let the channel members know. If you're not a channel member yet, you're going to want to sign up for membership. It's as low as 99 cents a month. And what we're going to be doing is independently watching a horror movie every week. There's going to be themes that run throughout the month. So this first couple months, we're going to be watching the Scream films leading up to Scream 7. And twice a week or, bi-weekly, we're going to jump into a members only live stream. And we're going to discuss a deep dive into the themes. kind of like a literature class, but for the movies. So a whole bunch of fun stuff coming up for channel members here. We got Eli Cortez, one of our great channel members, and Death Squad Mods. What's happening, Eli? So good to see you. Herbert, how you doing? Thank you so much for joining us. We got Andrew Stevens in the house as well. He says, you know what? I'm in for the ride. Why not? And that's what I'm saying is like, I would be a fool to not, usually I jump on Wednesday nights anyways, but if I went on at my usual time, I would have missed the perhaps drop of this maybe secret real finale to Stranger Things. So figured why the heck not jump on early and try to jump into some of it here. Let me see. I'm going to save that one there. I see you, Fletcher, so I'm just saving that to jump back into. What's happening, Stephanie? So great to see you. Horrorhead Heather, I've got your chat saved as well. We will jump into that. I just want to say hello to everybody before we jump on in. What's happening, Joel? Well, I guess if this thing is going to drop, I would imagine it will be 8 p.m. Eastern like the other episodes from season 5, although I'm not banking on this actually being a thing, but I do think it's a fun thing to talk about. And there's some, some good little postulation and theorizing out there. The internet is a wild thing, just like how, one person will post something and then everybody else runs with it. And especially in this day and age where we're so connected, we don't want to believe that something is over. General Speeder 5000 says, wow, everyone is so divided. It's almost 25, 25, 25, 25. Oh, on the poll? Is that what you're talking about? I haven't even checked the poll. Let me jump into the poll and take a look at that really quick. I noticed it was pretty close when I first looked at it before the stream started. Yeah, 27, 18, 32, 22. Wow, that is a pretty even split there. So divided we are as a nation, as fans of media, we sure are. Let's see who else we've got going on in here. I cannot read this name. It's something in Russian or some sort of Slavic language or something like that. It says, bro, this is fake. Just let it go. That show ended. I guess you're not listening to the stream, or you missed what I said at the beginning of the stream. So, but hang around. We're going to have some fun either way. I don't think that this is something that's going to happen, but it is certainly fun to talk about it. Tia Nina is celebrating 2 months of channel membership. Thank you so much, Tia. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much. We got Brad Underwood in the house. What's happening, Brad? So good to see you. Jod Fluxo says, any updates come out, it will be in USA timings only. The last I heard is this thing ain't happening. So we'll see here in a little more than a half hour. How are you doing, Miss Candy? Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate you. We got Paula Fitzhenry, one of our great channel members, jumping in to say Netflix did confirm it's fake. He is right. Yes. Yeah, that's the last I heard too. General Speeder says, hello, Davey. First time viewing. Can't wait to watch my first stream and wait with you. Thank you so much for joining us. I go live a lot. I do some pre-recorded material as well, but the live game is where I feel most comfortable. I love interacting with the audience. So if you like this kind of engagement and being part of a community that's really, really active and has a lot of fun, then yeah, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. That way you won't miss out on any streams in the future, because I will be going live here on, Friday night. And sometimes I just randomly pop on for a live as well if I get an idea or I just miss you guys so damn much, which happens sometimes. It sure does. Let me see what else we got going on in here. I'm going to save your chat there, King Matthew. I just want to say hello to everybody. Let's see what else we got. Josh McKenna, 5703, drops a $1.99 super chat and says, I'll be shocked if it's real. I will be too, Josh. I really will be too. I do not expect this to be real. So yeah, we will just see. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Ray. Get it, lover boy. Yeah, I just had to do it, Erica. I had to do it. I couldn't hold it in any longer. So how about that? I wanted the world to know. Yes, it's true. Well, I'm glad I could brighten up your day, so to speak. I don't know. Yeah, I'll probably have some angry DMs waiting for me after this one. We'll see. Vecna in season 4 was just amazing. I agree. I absolutely, yes. Davey must pay. Okay, guys. Just want to say hi to the last couple of people here that are jumping in. A Racy 2439 says should be a thing. The finale was so bad, but not likely. I agree. I don't think this is likely. Media Poop Shoot, our guy Joe hanging out with us. Guys, if you have not yet subscribed over to Media Poop Shoot, give Joe some love. Yeah. Let's see what else we got going on here. I just want to make sure I'm saying hi to everybody. Guys, if you're asking questions that have nothing to do with the stream, I just might miss them, because I want to stay on topic. But I can address those, outside of the stream. Game of Thrones is infinitely worse. Yeah, Game of Thrones just didn't really do it for me. I was not interested in the premise or anything like that. Like that stuff doesn't, I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know, a whole bunch of like dragons and shit. I was like, what's the point of this? It seemed like every now and then those shows like capture, everyone's attention because there's a void and a show comes in and sort of fills that void. And I guess with Game of Thrones, it was like people are getting killed and people are fucking. So it was like, I guess it was kind of exciting. I felt like the story just like dragged, and it was just like the who's gonna die this week show. So yeah, I never got into Game of Thrones, but I heard it was really bad at the end there. So, okay, guys, let's go ahead and I just want to bring up a couple topics here, as we get closer to 6 p.m. my time out here in Arizona, which would be the time that if this thing is a thing, then we'll know by then. So there we go. Look, this probably isn't happening. I watched some of the... Oh, sorry, guys. I heard a little buzz on my microphone. I wanted to fix it. Probably not happening. I watched some of the videos and stuff that Erica had sent over to me. She sent some Instagram posts. She sent me, shorts and reels and one like 8-minute video from YouTube. And some of the stuff in there, I was like, okay, like there's a couple things in there that I thought were, was kind of interesting. We'll jump into that. But, there was one that was like, oh, they show like 3 red exit signs. And I'm just like, well, what the hell does that mean? Like, there was one about like, oh, well, Robin, like, how would Robin know that Holly's favorite song is like the Tiffany song or whatever? And it's like, well, that could have just been like oversight when they were writing their script. Or maybe something was in the original script that didn't make it to the shooting script. That's one of those things that's like, I guess you could technically call that a plot hole. I don't think it's really a plot hole. I just think it's something that most people aren't going to catch unless we're, taking a fine-tooth comb to everything, and we're really, really hoping that there's something there that isn't there. Even like the Clash thing I thought was interesting because, Rockin' Robin grabs the 3 records to show that everything's like all connected or whatever, and she does grab London Calling instead of Combat Rock, and Should I Stay or Should I Go is on Combat Rock. It's not on London Calling. That also could have just been a mistake. Hold on, guys. That also could have just been a mistake from the writers, that they just fucked up. So I saw on one of the theory videos, it was like, oh, this is all in Mike's head. Like Mike is in a trance. And Mike knew that Will really loved Should I Stay or Should I Go, but Mike didn't remember which album it was from. So in Mike's trance memory, he thinks that it's London Calling, but it's actually Combat Rock. And that's also how Robin knew about Holly's song, was because this is actually, this last season or everything, I think from episode 4 on, is something that's technically happening in the mind of Mike, is what this one theorizer was saying. So I just think those are mistakes. I just think those are weird writing mistakes. It's just like having the Under Armour, like they removed that Under Armour logo that was like on the arm of, I don't know if it was 11 or which character it was. Those are just oversights. Or like, speaking of Game of Thrones, the Starbucks cup in Game of Thrones, it's just something like that. Like it's nothing that was put in there to like secretly try to tell us anything. Like these things happen. I think there's even been some other stuff in Stranger Things where it's like certain things didn't exist in the timeline, but they existed at some point in the 80s, so they bring them up. I'm I'm struggling to think of the actual example right now, but I'm unable to think of it at this moment. Although, now that I think about it, wasn't was Dream Warriors 1987 or was it 86? Can somebody in the chat let me know? Because they show Holly watching Dream Warriors. But how would Holly have a copy of Dream Warriors on VHS in 1987? And that's provided that Henry has only been watching her since 1987. I'm actually going to look this up right now, because it has nothing to do with whether or not the finale was a fake and we're getting another one. I am just curious because this is a horror channel, and we talk a lot about A Nightmare on Elm Street. It's one of the big three. So let's see here. It was February 27th, 87. So yeah, it's possible that if Henry didn't start watching Holly until 87, I guess it's possible by around Halloween time of 87 that Dream Warriors was released on VHS. I'm actually going to look that up. When the August of 87 is when they say that the VHS was released. So that puts it in a really, do we know what time of August of 87? And so, yeah, we know the finale takes place right around the beginning of November. So that means that Henry's only been watching Holly, as far as if we're going to use an actual real timeline, because the show does take place like in our timeline, so to speak. That means that Henry's only been watching Holly for a couple months max, right? That's kind of wild. It doesn't give me an promotional materials targeted July 16th, order dates for an August 5th release. So yeah, so August to September, September to October, October to November. So just 3 months between the release of Dream Warriors on VHS and the culmination of, everything that happens in the, yes, they jump forward to 89 for the actual ending of the show, the epilogue, but doesn't everything in the series, in the battle and everything, and all of that is taking place in 87. I could be wrong. I'm going to jump back into the chat and see what you guys are saying, because the chat is lighting up. Let me see what you guys have got. Yeah, the theory is that Mike got into a trance the first time he saw Vecna, like it happened to Chrissy and Max in season 4. So that was episode 4, right? Like right before Will has his freak out and everything like that. And by freak out, I mean that he has his powers and everything. If it doesn't drop, the Duffer Brothers are going into hiding. Don't sell them ropes. Don't sell them ropes. Don't sell them too much Tylenol. Put a limit on all that stuff. I also think it's weird there's things that are set up to be significant that are never explained, like why 12 kids. Welcome on in, Clickfire. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, this is crazy, guys. We have about 90 people in on this stream. I average at about like 30 on my streams normally. So thank you so much to the Stranger Things faithful, all of you guys that love this show. Whether or not you loved, season 5, I would imagine that there's a part of you that's just curious about this. Maybe you want this to be a real thing. Maybe you don't. I think it would be really interesting. Like, I think it would be like the biggest television event of all time if they did this. I don't think they're going to do it, but it would be kind of wild. And guys, if you are watching right now, one thing that could really help, and it's totally free to do, is hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. If you dig live streams and you dig community engagement, then hit the subscribe button and take that ride with us, because we are dangerously close to 2,300 subs. I would love to go way past 3,000 this year. So jump on in and join us. So Clickfire, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's like set up to be significant that's never explained, right? I mean, we have characters that are straight up dropped off, and I'm not talking about Argyle or Susie from season 4. It almost makes a little more sense that you just be like, okay, those characters exist in season 4. Let's put them over here. Argyle, particularly not very important. I would say Susie is more important as far as like she actually had some stuff to do that ultimately mattered in the whole plot of the season that she was a part of. Or was it 2 seasons? 2 seasons that she was a part of? The 12 kids, I think, is a D&D thing. So the 12-sided dice in D&D is what you roll for use of weapons. So it determines like I think it determines being able to use like special weapons. So I think that's just, you know, their little numerology and nod to D&D, like the, you know, the mind flayer or whatever that monster was. Some people say it's not the mind flayer because all the particles go out of the kids' mouths. So apparently the mind flayer is in those particles, and the monster is just some sort of behemoth creature. You know, seemingly it would be that all 12 kids needed to be there inside of that creature to like fuel it or charge it up. Now, one thing that I really don't get about that, and this whole season had like zero stakes at all. Like what was on the table? I mean, I guess they're like, the worlds could literally collide. It's like the most basic bitch stakes. They didn't raise the stakes by being like, this person's fucking dead now. Like, that's what they should have done in season 5. Like season 5, each little milestone, episode 4, somebody should have bitten the bullet. Episode 7, maybe a couple people die. And then in the finale, it either gets really damn close or we lose another big player. Like, I mean, I expected 11 to die in the finale. I fully expected that. I was like, well, she's gonna die. And then maybe Will, maybe Hopper. Like, those are like the two that I was like, when I'm like, would they kill 11 and kill Hopper? Probably not do both, you know, but I figured she was going to go. You know, it's the whole Terminator 2 thing, especially once they set that up that her blood is Henry's blood. As long as 11's alive, then the government's always going to be looking for her. They could always restart this program. So it's like the end of Terminator 2. Spoiler alert for a movie that's about 35 years old almost. You know, at the end of the movie, they throw the Terminator arm and the chip into the, you know, molten, you know, magma at the refinery. And then the current T-800, Arnold's character, is basically like, there's one more chip that's got to go. And he lowers himself into it. So it's very similar to that. So they got the, you know, Linda Hamilton in season 5, and then they even got that kind of, it's not a metaphor, but it's sort of like not even an analogy. It's just sort of, it's like poetry. It rhymes. But yeah, I just think the stakes weren't really there. I figured that if they had the 12 kids in the monster, once the monster, you know, awakened, those kids should have like started dying. I know that's really harsh, but there should have been a cost, right? Like the kids being inside the monster and fueling it or helping it become a thing, or, you know, whatever. It seems like those two things were connected, and then they just, the kids were okay. Kids were all right. Kind of weird. Let's see here. They only had 2 years to write. The show is 11 years. The last season deserved better writing. I won't defend the Duffers after those off-screen answers. They're fucking with us. Yeah, they really should have written this thing backwards to the front, because there's so much fluff in season 5. Season 5 is filled with fluff. It has like almost zero substance. You know, I've said it time and time again, but I'm going to repeat myself for the folks that are, because we have so many new people on this stream. Season 5, the first 7 episodes, you could have told all of that story in like 3 or 4 episodes and about 5 hours instead of about 10 hours. So ultimately we got somewhere around 12 hours for season 5. And I would say half of it was kind of like straight up nonsense. Especially with the time jump that doesn't explain how they really dealt with the world, or, you know, Hawkins cracking open. We just get Rock and Robin like telling us what happened and telling us how it is. It all seems very convenient. And, you know, we've gotten 4 seasons of getting to know these characters, and we spent an excruciating amount of time in episodes 1 through 7 dealing with their like interpersonal drama and their weird, it was like those sitcoms, where 2 people they have some beef. And so in a sitcom, they'll like lock them in the basement. Like they'll go to the basement, they're like fighting, and somehow they get locked, or they get put in a confined space and they've got to like hash out their beef. That was like what Stranger Things did with season 5. And I really don't understand why. I felt like it was an incredible waste of time, and it was painful to watch, if I'm being quite frank. I know that I'm way behind on the chats, guys, so just bear with me here. Yeah, February 87. Thank you so much for that. So yeah, the whole what's happening, Gory Tiger? Welcome on in, man. The whole timeline with Henry and Holly and the Dream Warriors thing. I mean, I know why they did it, because Vecna is clearly based on like a big part of his character, at least in season 4, because he has no character in season 5. What is Vecna doing in season 5? he's just sitting there like hooked up to the monster and checking in on the kiddos as Henry. He does fuck all. No preparation. He's like the worst coach ever. Bad groomer. I mean, groomers are bad anyways. He's not even good at doing that. Yeah, it's like they didn't know what to do. Like they had such a good ending. The season finale of season 4, and I think season 3 is even better than season 4, but I get why a lot of people put season 4 above season 3, and it's probably because of Vecna. I just think that season 3 is like scary, as great, just great like chemistry and vibes with the cast and everything like that. The additions to the cast were really cool in season 3 as well. But in season 4, like once you get to that finale, you're like, fuck, how are you gonna top that? And they couldn't even come close. Like, anyways, I could keep on going on, but I won't. Let's see here. I'm going to add some other stuff here. Henry works quick. Yeah, so that timeline doesn't really work for me personally. I know I'm missing out on some super chats, so let me jump in here. Joe from Media Poop Shoot jumps in with a $5 and says, dude, 88 in the chat. Nice job. I hope for everyone it's real at this point. Yeah, we're touching 140 here in the chat, 145 right now, which is crazy. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, all that good stuff. If you're watching after the fact, thank you so much. It really does help push the stream, especially for a small channel like mine. So let me know your thoughts, not just on Conformity Gate and all of that stuff. Let me know your thoughts on Stranger Things, the whole thing. Season 5, your feelings, how you would rank the seasons, all that kind of stuff. And if there's something you want to see from me, guys, as it pertains to Stranger Things, if you want that season ranking or any sort of deep dive or anything like that, let me know in the comments section. Let me know in the live chat. I love engaging with you guys. And ultimately, the whole YouTube game, yes, it's about being true to myself and speaking about things that I'm passionate about. Which I am when it comes to like film and television and, these kinds of stories like Stranger Things. But it's also about meeting you guys on that halfway point and giving you guys what you want. So don't be shy. Let me know what you want. And thank you so much for the $5, Joe. You are too sweet. Guys, I've been fortunate enough, like I met Joe at a screening of Silent Night, Deadly Night. That's how we met. And then we connected online because he's got his own channel over there at Media Poop Shoot. So Joe and I have been watching movies together. It's been super fun. Checking stuff out at the theater. We just watched Primate the other night at a secret screening. 420 Jane, thank you so much for the $5. 420 Jane drops this comment here that says, it's weird that season 1 and 2 add to 17 and 3 and 4 add to 17. Season 5 is 8. The bros told Netflix how it would end before season 1, episode 1. Well, I'm sure that they told them this is going to end with a D&D game and everything being wrapped up. I doubt that they were like, 11's going to die this way. And I doubt they sussed every little detail out. But yeah, I've heard that too, that they knew that they wanted to end it with that D&D game of sorts, which I think is a great way to end the film. It's got that Stand By Me feel. It really is like, I think the epilogue was actually pretty all right. I liked the Dustin speech at graduation. I thought that was probably the thing that emotionally hit with me the most. I'm a punk rock guy, so I kind of love the idea of him just flipping the bird to the principal and all that stuff. And giving the tribute to Eddie, because that's something Eddie says he would do in season 4. He's like, I'm going to graduate, I'm going to flip the bird to principal so-and-so, and I'm going to grab that diploma and run off. And it was really cool that Dustin got his chance to do that. I did think it was very sweet the way that Mike, kind of tells everyone's little story, and then you see him at the typewriter. Like, these are all really, really nice ways to end things up. I just think the battle could have been a lot more epic. I've talked about it before on previous streams, but again, we got a lot of people in here. How cool would it have been if the fight with 11 and Vecna, I wanted to see them. So they go inside the creature. Oh, I would have loved to see them on the back of the creature, sliding down the legs, chasing each other, fighting all over this fucking thing. Right. And of course, with the rest of our group that's on the ground, that was a great opportunity to have some lives lost. And raise the stakes in that finale. I think the stakes should have been risen before then, certainly, but it's another way to just sort of add some heartache. There were 0 gut punches in this season, as far as I'm concerned. Like, nothing hit. And I don't know if you guys watched Welcome to Derry. I'm not going to spoil anything from that show here on this stream, but I will say there are a couple really emotional moments. Particularly, there's a death in Welcome to Derry that was tougher than anything Stranger Things did in season 5. It's fucking crazy. Season 1 of a show about Pennywise the Clown had more emotional stakes and just more stakes overall than the finale of this, series that's been going on almost 10 years, this like event series in Stranger Things. It's fucking crazy to me. And I tell you what, I'm not even the biggest like Pennywise or It fan. Like, I think the It lore is more fascinating than what we've seen on screen. And I certainly think that Welcome to Derry is better than any of the It movies we've seen. So kind of odd that that's how it all worked out. So yeah, the 17 and the 17, that just might be a coincidence there. 420 JNA, I do appreciate the $5. Could just be a total coincidence. But yeah, the numerology, I mean, 1 is Vecna, 11 is 11, Kali is 8, that equals 20. There's the 20-sided dice in Dungeons and Dragons, which is the most consequential dice of them all, that determines your, your protection against attacks, your attack level, all that kind of stuff. So they have been playing with those numbers. I just don't think that they like set a list of rules with those numbers. I think they were just like, we want to throw these numbers in there because it's fun, and part of the fun about, once an artist creates a piece of art, whether it's a painting, an album, a TV show, a movie, whatever it is, once they create that and they show it to the world, it doesn't belong just to the artist anymore. It belongs to everybody that participates or enjoys the work of art, right? So I think that's one of those things. Like, we saw it with the newer Star Wars movies. We, us fans, we love theorizing. We love trying to figure out what's what. And sometimes I think our theories are more fun than what actually comes out. And so sometimes our expectations can be risen and not quite met. However, I would say in this instance with Stranger Things, I've said this before, the reason why we had these expectations with Stranger Things, guys, is because the show was really fucking good. Particularly seasons 3 and 4. I think some of the best television I've ever seen. And then not only that, but the Duffers were like, oh, we've been crying watching these episodes. The cast has been crying. Like, they've been saying all the right kind of stuff. And seasons 3 and 4 were so good that I figured, man, this is going to be a layup. Like, I'll use another sports analogy. This is going to be a home run. Like, this is an easy home run for the Duffers to just squeeze out season 5. It's going to be absolutely amazing. So easy to finish this series like on a super high note. I think it was, just handed to them on a silver platter, and they fucking dropped it immediately. That's what I think happened here. So maybe I'm trying not to be grumpy about it. It's just my opinion. So, whatever. What the hell does my opinion matter ultimately? Like, I'm not the one making the movies. So thank you so much for the $2, Erica. And she reminds everybody to hit that like button if you are enjoying the stream. Gosh, I guess I should have, I'm hitting my watch all over the place. I guess I should have started a super chat goal. Okay, guys. So look, this probably isn't happening, but we can still have fun with it, right? I think that that's what this is all about. Just hanging out with you guys and, chit-chatting about all this stuff is, that's where the fun is, man. 93 people hit that like button. Right now, guys, we are at 186. This is absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for joining the stream, guys. I'm going to get to as many chats as I can here. I will ask you to do the easy free things. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know if you want more of this kind of stuff. Like, let me know what kind of topics you want me to dive into. Talking is something that I am certainly not a stranger to doing. And I'd love to, to kind of tickle your guys' fancy. I know it sounds dirty, but I mean it in the nicest way possible. Let me know what you're passionate about. If I happen to be passionate about the same things, we can have a chat about it. We talk a lot about horror here. That's why we're kind of in the Stranger Things realm. But I'm a huge just like film fan in general. So let me know what you want me to talk about. Piatas. Piatas. Wow. Piadoso Jones. That is not right. That is not how you say this, but I'm doing my best, guys. I don't believe I am in full Europe, 1:33 a.m., waiting for an episode that neither I nor anyone else knows if it's going to come out. And on top of that, I start working at 7 a.m. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to find out in 10 minutes. So I'm sorry that I butchered your name, but we are going to find out in 10 minutes if this is real or not. And maybe if it's not real, they'll at least like release some sort of like, haha, joke's on you kind of thing. Dr. Owens should have returned. I don't even remember who the heck that is. I don't even remember. Very disappointing and truly puzzling. Yes. Yeah, not a strong season to go out on, right? Yeah. Let's see here. We got Average Adsy says, sure, something happens every day, even if it isn't an episode. There has just been so many hints at 1/7 over the past few days. Well, and one of the things Erica shared with me is that Stranger Things was like posting every hour, and on all their posts, they're like started out with like Nancy, Jonathan, Steve, and Robin, and like in each post there was like one fewer of them in there. So it was like, you know, I think they're just playing with us to get the engagement. You know, that's what I think's happening here. Okay, let's see what else we got. Should be dropping in about 9 minutes if it's actually happening. I don't believe that it will. Erica's out there reminding you guys about the Discord. That link is also pinned in the chat if it's too far gone at this point. Totally free to join. Module 12, guys, it's over. It is not happening. I appreciate you jumping in on the stream and letting us know how you feel. Season 4, in my opinion, was the best season. I think, yeah, a lot of people feel that way for sure. I'm a season 3 guy, but I've only watched them all once. So maybe on a rewatch, I would feel differently. Matt Cave Gaming, welcome on in, Matt, says, I want to believe and still do, but I finished rewatching and the dial color change didn't happen, and the signs at graduation all have writing. The lighting hits a yellow one odd at one point. Gotcha. So they're cherry picking some of this stuff. Yeah, they're like, oh, everyone's holding their hands the same way like Henry does in the facility. And I'm just like, oh my God, like people just sit down and put their hands a certain way. It's just something that like we do. And one of the theory videos was like, everyone's doing it. And I'm like, no, there's like some of the people are doing it. So you can't say everyone. They're like, 12 people are wearing sunglasses just like the 12 kids. I'm like, okay, guys, we are grasping at straws. And that's why I think this isn't happening. But I also have a lot of fun jumping in with you guys and talking about it. There you go. There you go. Alexander believes. And Erica says they told us we'd get a twist ending. Where? Yeah, there was no twist. Unless they're trying to say that 11 maybe being alive is a twist, but it's a maybe. It's nothing that's confirmed. She's just like hanging out in Ireland, you know, playing golf or whatever. 11 did all that training to ditch her friends when they are being held at gunpoint. That's a really interesting thing. I think one of the theory videos that Erica had sent me, you know, one of the big things it brought up was nothing happens to these characters. Like, guys, our heroes act like terrorists. In all of season 5, like they're straight up killing people in the military. Maybe it's a secret military group or whatever, but they're all captured before 11 sacrifices herself. Hopper has straight up committed like several acts of murder. I mean, even 11, although there's nothing they could do about her, but she makes that guy turn his own gun on himself and shoot himself through his chin. It's just friggin' wild. Like, and then 18 months later or whatever, everything's fine. Like no one had to go to jail, no consequences. Hopper is still a copper. So yeah, I guess those are the things when I watch the theory videos where I'm like, oh, maybe this is some sort of like, you know, hallucination, or I guess the better word is illusion created by Vecna. But yeah, I don't think that they're that like, I don't think they're that savvy and that cool and that understanding to actually give us like a fake finale and then a real finale. You know, I just think like from a marketing standpoint, that would be a crazy thing to do, but we'll see. Someone could have lost an arm or a leg or something. I mean, something, you know, the last season of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you know, some of our main characters die, some of them are maimed, like seriously changed forever, will never be the same. And so that was a show that, even though throughout 7 seasons or whatever it was, a lot of ups and downs in the show, not every episode or even every season is that, you know, strong. But the way they ended the Buffy show, I thought was really damn satisfying. I really enjoyed that last season quite a damn bit. Let's see what else we got here. Stephanie says, yeah, the whole last season was basically explaining why 11 had to sacrifice herself to end it all. Yeah, and a lot of just like Hopper telling her that she's not ready yet, which has been fucking the whole show pretty much. I think since like season 2. Hopper just like putting a damper on 11, you know. Steve should have died saving Dustin. Dustin definitely needs more therapy. So something should happen. I'm happy Steve lived, but Jonathan, let's get rid of that guy. Jonathan or Will, one of them. Like Joyce can lose a kid, right? And maybe Joyce could have gone too. I mean, she is hanging. So what's Joyce doing when the giant monster is like, you know, running amok? Because she's there with them, and then she's in the monster to chop off Vecna's head. So what? Joyce is like nimble and like, what is she, sliding around like Mega Man or something, avoiding like these giant legs and all this other crap. And then how come the giant monster, you know, when Steve and Dustin go and they're like, for Eddie, and they're like stabbing its underbelly, they're stabbing like eggs or there's something. It seems like there's some sort of something going on there. No creatures ever fall off. It's like, you know, in Cloverfield, they had the giant monster and the giant monster had the smaller, like, you know, symbiotic creatures falling off of it, the parasites or whatever. God, wouldn't that have been cool during our battle if it like wasn't just the giant kaiju, but also like smaller creatures falling off of the kaiju and our heroes actually have to do something? I mean, fuck's sake. They kill more human beings in season 5. Our heroes kill more human beings in season 5 than they do any bad guys. Kind of wild. Kind of wild if you think about it. It's like, did they just skimp on the budget? Why did they do this? The storytelling got really weak in season 5, y'all. Holy shit, guys. 370 people here in the chat. Make sure you hit that like button if you're watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what else you want to see as far as Stranger Things or any sort of other topical discussion here. We talk a lot of horror movies, TV. I cover horror news a lot here as well. Stuff that I'm interested in, stuff that I know you guys are interested in. So hit that subscribe button. It's totally free. If it's not your thing, you can always leave. It won't break my heart too bad. I might shed a tear or two. But come on. Don't you want to hear more of this voice? Come on. We got Destiny Faulkner in the house, one of our great Death Squad mods. How are you doing, Des? Thank you so much for joining us. I'm very curious to know what you think. And guys, in 2 minutes, we're going to know if this thing's real or not. We are going to know if this is for real. Empire VR Official says the Netflix or Stranger Things account on IG say all episodes are playing. That's true. I don't think this is happening. We'll find out here in a couple minutes. Holy shit, we just crossed the 400 mark on people watching the stream. That is absolutely bonkers, guys. Thank you so much. Whether this is your first time, your 1000th time, or, you know, maybe you never come back again. Thank you so much for jumping on in. Should be just a couple minutes here from now. 20 minutes to disappointment, says Cold Steel Rails about 20 minutes ago. We will see. Guys, I'm going to jump to the, I'm tough as fuck. Yes, I'm so, you know, it's one word that people don't use to describe me, but I appreciate that. Thank you, Green Zabel 412. Yeah. They made Vecna a puss in 5. Billy felt like a bigger threat in 3. Well, and the Mind Flayer was fucking awesome in season 3. Dude, season 3 is fucking killer. It is like a throwback to like the 50s and 60s monster movies, but it had like real gore and like actual dread. I thought the stakes were really high with Billy. I thought his redemption at the end of the season was great. Man, season 3 is so good. The kids still look like kids. I think that's what puts it over season 4 for me, because by season 4, they're looking like, you know, I can tell that they're like 20 or 21 and they're trying to age him down. Like Will all of a sudden is like busting out of his shirt with like his big shoulders and everything in season 4. But in season 3, it still feels believable. And I like the whole like kind of monster vibe. I think season 4 they certainly had the horror stuff going, but in season 3, like it is there in a very, very big way. Okay, guys, I'm gonna reload here. It is technically 8 p.m. out on the East Coast, so we're gonna see if this is for real or not. I've got my Netflix opened up. I am reloading here. Here, maybe I can share the screen. I actually didn't even prepare to share the screen, but I'll give it a couple minutes. We'll see what happens. I would be surprised if we don't get something popping in here. There's a behind the scenes, behind the curtain that dropped in 2025. Okay, so that's not new. There's the fireplace thing that's from 2025. I'm just checking to see, making sure it's not hidden somewhere here on the Netflix page. So let me reload again. Oh shit, Netflix has crashed, y'all. Oh damn. So I'm not the only one reloading the site and trying to find out what's going on with Stranger Things. And you know what? The last couple times it's crashed, it's because there is a new episode. I doubt that that's what's going on this time, but let's see here. Oh my gosh, come on, guys. There we go. So I'm still just seeing the 8 episodes. You guys let me know if you're seeing anything different. I don't think we're getting anything, but I wanted to jump in here and talk with you guys anyways. Holy shit, guys. 584 people watching right now. This is pretty wild stuff. So thank you so much for jumping on in. We're now over 600 people. And as of yet, I am not seeing anything for an episode 9. So let me see here. I want to jump in and do a little something really quick. Let me do this. Guys, I just want to start. Let's see if we could do something fun here. I'll do a 30-minute goal here. Let's see if we can do you think you guys could do $20 of super chats in 30 minutes? Let's see. Another hour of Stranger Things talk. Let's see. Let's see if you guys want to do this. And then what I was thinking about doing, if we don't get the episode, I've got a tier maker pulled up. I created a live event on tier maker, and I thought it would be really fun to have you guys vote on the season ranking. So just ranking the 5 seasons. It would be pretty quick. We'd have 90 seconds for you to vote on each one. We could kind of chat about each one. So that's what I have planned for us if there doesn't happen to be a season or a episode 9 here, or really any. I'm not seeing anything yet, so doesn't look like we're getting it, guys. Maybe I should jump on over to Instagram and see if there's anything that's been uploaded over there. I'm going to pull out my phone here. Guys, you know that Stuff Your Sorries in a Sack comes from Seinfeld, right? Everybody knows that. It's yes, they used it in Pineapple Express, but we all know that that's from Seinfeld, right? So yeah, the last thing that the Stranger Things Insta posted was 4 hours ago. So they stopped that every hour posting. And then even, yeah, the last thing that Netflix posted was 2 hours ago. And it was Mike going through like what everyone does with their lives after the big battle and everything like that, or what they're going to be doing after the finale. So I thought that was kind of curious 2 hours ago when we got that, but I'm not seeing anything brand new having to do with Stranger Things. There's just a post about somebody writing in 2025. Image of me still writing 2025. I don't know what that is. That's not a character from Stranger Things, so doesn't look like we're getting anything, guys. We'll see. We'll see. Let me reload it one more time, and then I'll just get back into the chat and we can just talk. And we could talk about a couple things here. Let's see here. Phoenix Moon 3 says, I've had so much fun with everything. The people that came up with the evidence, you are my people. It's the beautiful thing about the internet. And the really cool thing, I think, Phoenix, thank you so much for jumping on in, by the way. I know you're, this must be your first time jumping into the chat, so thank you for joining us. I think a lot of the people that have the evidence, it comes from a good place. Like, it's not like, oh, I hated this, so I need another one. It's almost like it would make the season make a little more sense. So I think it comes from a good place. You know, it's not so much like, oh, we need to redo this fucking thing. Like, get rid of The Last Jedi or redo the Star Wars sequels. I don't think it's quite to that level of vitriol. So yeah, I think it comes from well-meaning folks for sure. Let's see here. What's happening? Gold and Cards. Hey, from Denmark. Thank you so much for joining us. You guys are amazing. I know I'm missing a lot of people that are jumping in. Let me say hi to a few people here. We got Sophie. What's happening, Sophie? Battle Damage Props. I believe, is this Battle Damage? Is this Asha? Let me know, Asha. Yeah, they should have killed Will, I think. Jeremiah jumps in and says, I really want this, but I know it's not going to happen. I've been on the edge, but closer we come, the farther it gets. Yeah, it's not looking like it's a thing. I'll reload it one more time and then I'll give up forever. Let's see who else we got here. What if 7 meant 7 months? Oh man, it would have been. I think the thing that they should have done is you would strike while the iron is hot, right? So you wouldn't 7 months later put something out and just drop it out of the blue, because I would imagine by September or October we're going to get that animated series, right? It's going to roll out around spooky season. Maybe the summer. I'm not sure. I haven't seen a date yet on, what is it, Project 1985, something like that. Let me know if you guys have seen a date out there. I checked recently, you know, within the last couple of days. I didn't see anything about a date. I would imagine if that's not going to be in the summer, it's going to be around spooky season, since that's, you know, the time that we're all kind of geared up and looking for Stranger Things content. Let's see here. We should move on. It was a stiff ending. We were robbed, and that's fine. Let's move on, guys. Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. Like, moving on, I think we'll be able to do that. I'm already looking, speaking of moving on. Well, wait, I'm going to star that. We're going to come back to that. Changer the Stranger, what's happening? So great to see you. Thank you for joining us here. IEC W2L says, not going to lie, I think season 1 was peak. Season 1's fucking incredible. Yes. I think for me, it's like seasons like, it's like 3, 1, 4, 2, 5. And I think I put 5 at the end because it would have been so easy for them to ride off into the sunset with a fantastic season to close everything out. And they didn't. So expectations were higher for 5 because they set the expectations there. We didn't set the expectations there. The Duffers and the previous seasons did. And while I didn't like season 2, I wasn't expecting as much from season 2 as I was from season 5. Season 2's overrated. Yeah, I'm not a big fan. Quinn Phillips says, I really love season 3 because it just has almost all the favorites. Sadly, not Eddie. Yeah, it would have been nice to get Eddie a little bit more in the show. It sucks that they brought him in and killed him off in one season. And I do think that Eddie's death is bigger than any emotional moment in season 5. So that's another thing that they kind of fucked up with Stranger Things, is they gave us our biggest gut punch, but they didn't give us any gut punches. 0 gut punches in season 5. 11 dying doesn't count. Like, what happened in season 5 that would be considered a gut punch? For me, nothing. Honestly, nothing. They didn't do anything to surprise me. And that's one of the worst things that you can do when you're being creative, right? It's like, imagine going to see a comedian and you know what every punchline is going to be. Not funny then, right? I mean, isn't the fun of watching somebody tell jokes is thinking that you know where the joke is going and then they surprise you with something else? It's the same kind of thing with scares. It's the same kind of thing with just regular storytelling. The Duffer Brothers, let's just be honest, like, they fumbled pretty big here. And the fumbling it's just proportionate to how easy the task at hand was. Guys, this was so easy. A layup, a home run off a fucking tee, like a T-ball home run, like Barry Bonds hitting a ball off a fucking tee. That's how easy this would have been. Into the bay, you know, just, it would have been so easy for them to do this the right way, and they did not. Thank you for the reminder, Eli. Yeah, guys, we have 670 people kicking it with us right now. Thank you so much for joining. It does not look like we are getting episode 9. I do not want to string you along. If that is your hope, that we are getting a secret, finale to Stranger Things that was not, announced. They've been denying it. And as far as we can tell right now, that denial is truthful. But I appreciate you guys kicking it with me, and I hope you stay for a little bit longer. Okay, we got some super chats to get to, so let me jump on in here. Joe from Media Poop Shoot sends in $10 and says, the hype was fun, this was fun, and I don't care for the show. Well, thank you so much for the tenor, Joe, and thank you for your previous super chat as well. I really do appreciate you. Yeah, I think I've said this before, guys, and I'm curious to know, let me know right now in the chat if you're watching. How are you ever going to revisit Stranger Things? And when you revisit Stranger Things, are you going to skip any of season 5? Because I tell you what, if I ever watch this series again, I am going to skip episodes 1 through 7 of season 5. I will go straight from the finale of season 4 into the finale of season 5, because I can remember all the stuff that happens in episodes 1 through 7. Like, everyone's fighting and they get over it, and Holly's missing with some other kids. Well, let's just let's cut to the chase, So that's my personal thing, is that's how I'm going to be, watching the series if and when I revisit it. We'll see. It's a lot of time to spend, going back and rewatching a show. I don't rewatch a lot of shows. I do rewatch a lot of movies. Code Melted sends in a tenor with a sweet little raccoon friend. That's pretty awesome. Thank you so much for the tenor code, and says nerd theories are what makes these shows fun. Oh, well, I totally agree, man. I think that the theorizing is half the fun, and especially if we don't let our own theories, let the air out of the balloon. I think that's the cool thing to remember is, like, guys, we're not, very rarely are we ever going to theorize and pick the thing that's actually going to happen, right? Like, that would be such that would be like a blind guy solving a Rubik's Cube in like a minute, it would be very, very seldomly that would happen. But I do think it is really cool for us to, it just says something about the kind of passion that we have as fans. Whether you're a content creator or whether you're somebody that's hanging out in the chat, like, I'm the kind of person that's both. I love jumping into chats and seeing what other people are saying and nerding the fuck out. Like, that is ultimately why I decided to start a channel, is because I'm a big nerd and I feel like I got a lot to say. So I might as well, say it to you guys instead of just, saying it to a wall or posting it on Reddit. Thank you so much for the tenor code. Really appreciate you, man. I hope you stick around, and I hope we see you again sometime in the future on another stream. Tia Nina drops a $2 super chat, says, welcome to all the new peoples. Yes, guys, you are kicking it with the Death Squad. That's what we call this crew. It's a really awesome community. If you want to connect with us in between streams, there is a link pinned in the chat. You can join our Discord server. It's the Davey Deathray Discord server. Totally free to join. We talk a lot of shit in a fun way. We watch a lot of movies over there too, and it's awesome because we can actually show the movies on Discord. You can't show them here on YouTube. Like, I could watch a movie and talk about it to you, but on Discord, we jump in the chat, we watch movies, and we do I try to do a little Mystery Science Theater thing because I love that show. So what can you do? Ryan Wimmer drops a $1.99 and says, #ConformityGate for life. Oh yeah, Ryan, it would have been really cool. Maybe we need to write our own. Wow. Is that an idea for a stream? I think that's an idea for a stream, guys. Collaborative, choose your own adventure style. I'm going to give Mandy, Trashbox Mandy, one of our mods over here and one of our great channel members, I'm going to give her credit for that because she wanted to see a season 5 that was a choose your own adventure. But I'm like, whoa, Mandy, what if there's just another show in the future where mid-season finale, well, sorry guys, I'm getting a little interference here. What if there's a show in the future where mid-season finale, you get to choose your own adventure, and then season finale, you get to choose your own adventure as well? Be kind of cool. I don't know why I'm getting interference here, guys. Hold on, I'm gonna do a little adjustment. Hello? Are you guys there? Am I there? Interesting. What happened here? Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. What the heck happened here? Interesting. I'm having an issue here. Let me just make sure you guys can hear me. We can forge ahead. I'm going to skip to the bottom of the chat. Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing with the chat. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm seeing some people. All right. Loud and clear. Perfect. And I don't know if you guys can hear the audio on the music or whatever. For whatever reason, I'm just having some sort of issue with StreamYard here. But let's go ahead and forge ahead. So Ryan Wimmer, thank you so much for the $1.99 super chat. Really do appreciate you. Horrorhead Heather drops a $4.99 and says, every stream I have been in, my girl Buffy has been mentioned, and it makes my heart happy. Would love some Buffy content leading up to the new show. You got it, Horrorhead Heather. I really like that show quite a bit. I think the movie is fucking awesome too. I don't know why Joss Whedon didn't like the movie. Maybe it's because he didn't get to direct it. At least I don't believe he got to direct it. But I think the movie is really entertaining. And you know what, guys? Last night I watched a movie called Subspecies. It's a Charles Band produced Full Moon production. Oh my gosh. I was like, this movie looks like it influenced Buffy the Vampire Slayer quite a bit with like the vampire makeup and everything. And even just some of the vibe and some of the mysticism. So if you haven't seen Subspecies, give it a watch. I think there's 5 movies in this in the franchise. I've only seen the first one so far. We got Just Jess 94 jumping in, says, hi, that is all. Have a great stream. Thank you so much for the $5, Just Jess. Really appreciate you. You are too sweet for jumping on in and showing some love. Sorry, I'm late again. Today drops a $19.99 super chat. Thank you so much, and says, I'm watching episode 9 on Netflix Antarctica. That would be the biggest troll of them all. Like, yes, folks, it is available, but it is only available on Netflix Antarctica. How about that? Thank you so much for the 19.99er. Really do appreciate you guys. Where are we on the super chat goal? Holy cow, we are 7/10 of the way on the super chat goal. So if we get 3 more, I'll keep on talking Stranger Things with you guys. How about that? And really, that'll be like, you guys will get to dictate where this conversation goes. So how about that? You know what? I'm just going to leave that up there until I find something else to replace it. I know I missed a lot of chats because I just scrolled down to make sure you guys could still hear me and everything like that. So let me jump on over. Yeah, PH, unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's coming out. I love that Jade jumps in and says, stop lying about it being dropped, bruh. Interesting. I don't think I have. I don't know. You guys let me know. Have I lied about it? Have I said that it's being dropped? But this is what I expected. I knew there were going to be, I figured, oh my God, hopefully a lot of people jump in. I had no idea we were going to reach like 600 or so. Now we're at about 475. I figured there would be people that would jump in and assume that I was saying something I wasn't, because this is the internet after all, and that's just what happens. Watching Netflix with the Penguins, oh yeah. Mandy is already trying to get Davey to watch From on the Discord. Yeah, I've never seen it. I've heard it's a fucking fantastic show, man. So maybe is that something that I should be covering on the channel? Like, is From, it sounds like it's a legit like badass horror show. So I don't know. I know Fletcher is a huge fan. Obviously, he calls himself the Fromaholic. So yeah. Let's see here. But it sounds like it's only a show that like very few people really are aware of. Leo Letty says, Dave, have you watched an MGM show called From? Oh, you guys are talking. So Leo is a fan as well. All right. I guess I got to check it out. I guess I do. Got to check out From. What is the streaming service that From is on? Yeah, still no 9th episode, unfortunately. There's 9 episodes in season 2. Maybe if I go to see all episodes, is something sneaky going to be in there? Season 5, bunch of bullshit. Nope, just 8 episodes there in season 5 as well. So nice try, music edits. I wish. Morgan Bobrowski says, boil the Duffer Brothers. What do you think they're going to do for their next show, guys? I am curious to know what that next show is going to be all about. And is there a horror franchise that you guys want to see the Duffer Brothers take on? Like, you know, what if the Duffers did something like A Nightmare on Elm Street? Something like that. Or is there another horror franchise that maybe they could bring back that you guys would want to see? I don't know. Will always love this show, says Paula. Yeah, I think it's still going to go down in history as one of the best, you know, especially in the streaming era. I mean, this is a show that was an event show. Every time they dropped episodes, I mean, even after the first season dropped, it was like water cooler talk. You know, people were obsessed immediately with Stranger Things. And then with what I think season 4 dropped in 2 chunks, like both of those were events, you know, it's a big deal. Yeah, we're still going to hang out though, right? We can hang. We got about 500 people in here. So we're going to kick it for a little bit. Yeah, unfortunately nothing did happen, but maybe we can write our own, guys. Like, I mean, maybe that would be a cool idea for, I was saying it before the microphone went haywire there on me for a second. You know, like I could do like a series of polls in a live chat. We could sort of write the finale that we wanted to see. Like, we can write our own conformity gate, assuming that, yes, it's all like a hallucination from Vecna in Mike's mind or whatever, and then write our own ending. It might be kind of fun. You know, we could write it. Fuck, we could turn it into a comic book or something. That's the power of fandom. As long as we don't try to profit off anything, like, we could absolutely do that. Could be pretty awesome. So we basically figured out the Duffer Brothers ruined their career. They'll be okay. They got Paramount Plus that they're jumping over to. They're going to executive produce all these Stranger Things spinoffs. So these guys are set, right? I mean, and that's the thing, is like, that's why I think it's totally fair game to criticize these people sometimes, is, you know, you can't take anything away from them. You know, you can't, nothing that we do or say is going to change the fact that they're absolutely successful. So, you know, I think sometimes people get like defensive about the art that they love and the creators that they love. And it's like, dude, it's all on the table, you know? Am I being dumb, or does the cover say new episodes plural now? It said new episodes singular earlier, I swear. Let me see what it says here. I don't think it says watch the series finale now is what it says. And then it says see all episodes. So yeah, there's only 8 episodes showing up for season 9. And then when I click to see all episodes, there's not like an added, you know, 9th episode or an added secret season or anything tucked in there anywhere. Delightful dipshit Derek. Love dipshit Derek. I'm guessing we're going to see him and Holly in a spin-off show at some point. The finale was trash. Yeah, I didn't think it was quite trash. I think the season, I would totally understand if somebody said season 5 is trash. I'm like, okay, dude, I'm not going to be mad about that. But I think the finale was the best part. Yeah. Hashtag watch from Davey. Let's make him watch, people. Love it. Oh, are you trying to get us? I think you're trying to get, you're not the first one. You're not the first one to try and get us. Yes, thank you for putting that out there, Erica. I think that's yeah. I mean, guys, the really cool thing about being able to just chit chat and postulate and theorize is it is all just for fun, right? So this isn't about being right or causing any fights or anything like that. So like Erica says, Conformity Gate chat is for fun. We can disagree, but please keep chats respectful to each other. Yes. That's really all I ask here. I think it's like pretty bare minimum to say, like, just be cool, you know, don't be a dick. Like, if you are, or if one of the mods thinks that you are being that way, then they may warn you, or they may just boot you depending on what you're saying. So I trust my mods here to do the right thing. So don't cross them. Fat Man Pez says, honestly, they should take notes at how fans reacted to this and not F up this bad in the future or plan something. Yeah, and they're probably, you know what it is, like they're always going to be happy. They're always going to say the politically correct thing and be like, we closed out the season the way, or the series the way that we wanted to. They're never going to be like, yeah, it could have gone better. Like, I highly doubt they would ever say that because it would tarnish the brand. But there's like a fine line, right? You know, when you're a creative person, it's like you do want to find satisfaction for yourself. And then you want to satisfy the audience. But I think a lot of creative people start with themselves. And I think that's okay to a degree. You know, it's like on a very, very small scale, like I was saying at the beginning of the stream, when I was asking you guys to tell me what you want to see on the channel. Because if it's something I'm passionate about, maybe it's just something that I haven't thought of yet. And I'm like, oh my God, that's a great idea. That's a topic I should be talking about. But I'm not going to force myself to talk about something that I either don't care about or if I'm totally uneducated on it. You know, it's like I want to make sure that I'm still being true to myself and genuine, because especially when it comes to something like YouTube, I think that's what the audience resonates with. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. We have a lot of new people here tonight, so jump on in and let me know. But, you know, I think people that go into YouTube as audience members, they just want the genuine article. They don't want a bunch of bullshit. So it is, there's that fine line. And then, but you know, I agree with you to a certain degree, Fat Man Pez. And I thought they were listening to us because everyone loved seasons 3 and 4. I mean, most people loved all 4 seasons of the show. And like, I do to varying degrees. I'm not super pumped on season 2. I single out seasons 3 and 4 because they are so exceptional and they ratcheted up the tension. They ratcheted up the stakes in a really big way. And then season 5, it was like they forgot how to do a show. It's kind of odd. I'm low-key giving up on these people. On us in the chat or on the Duffer Brothers? No, there was not. Silver Knight Games. I'm so sorry. It's not gonna goddamn release. But you could hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Oh yeah. And hi guys, hi to all brand new 440 some people that are out there who, you know, usually I have about 30 people hanging out in the chat. We've got an awesome loyal community here, the Death Squad. You guys can join us on this whole journey. Just to give you all an idea of who I am, tell you a little bit about myself. I'm Davey Deathray. I grew up in Juneau, Alaska. I'm a huge punk rock fan, metal fan, horror fan, film fan in general, and I'm also just a really big music fan in general, but punk rock and metal are kind of my bread and butter. Yeah, some of my favorite movies are like Network, The Evil Dead, Fletch, The Empire Strikes Back, Halloween, The Thing, lots of John Carpenter. And I've been enjoying the Stranger Things ride here. I've also been covering It, Welcome to Derry. Did watch parties for all of those episodes and covered those, and really looking forward to the Crystal Lake show. So, you know, Halloween's my number 1, Friday the 13th is my number 2, and A Nightmare on Elm Street. As far as the big 3 goes, that's my order. But man, Friday the 13th is so much fun. I'm really looking forward to that show. So if you like horror shows like Stranger Things and you're going to find yourself on that Crystal Lake train, then you definitely want to hit the subscribe button. I'm covering the news and everything as that show, you know, as news comes out on the show. And then once the show releases, we'll be doing watch parties and discussions over here about it as well. I do want to grab a couple super chats here. Let's see here. Kayla Lope sends in a $1 super sticker. Let me see if I can take a look at that super sticker. Holy cow, we reached our goal, guys. We reached our goal, and Erica is having to kick people out. Erica, thank you so much for dealing with all the craziness. I guess we knew this was going to happen. You know, since this is a little viral here, I suppose. I'm trying to find that super sticker. Kayla, I'm so sorry. I'm looking for your super sticker, but for whatever reason, I cannot find it. Oh, maybe this will let me do it. Let's see here. Oh, it looks like I missed it. I'm so sorry, Kayla. Thank you so much for sending in the super sticker, though. I really do appreciate it. You are such a sweetheart for dropping that $1. And if that's you in the picture, you are such a cutie. So keep rocking it, Kayla. Triple M993 drops a $4.99er and says, how I think of it is they wanted us to make up Conformity Gate to add to the purpose of the ending. Well, it certainly will drive the numbers up, right? So it'll drive up the hashtag, it'll drive up the engagement, maybe it'll help them sell some more stuff, or just, you know, they probably make money off the engagement anyways. I mean, how many people, I saw Netflix posting about, what's his face? One of the guys from SNL dropped a stand-up special on Netflix. Every single comment, because I didn't think the commercial was funny. Like, I think he's funny on SNL, but most of it was just him like screaming in the reel. And I was like, wow, this isn't funny. I jumped into the comments. Every comment is like, when's episode 9 coming? When's episode 9 coming? So it's like, man, it is helping the Duffers. It's helping Netflix. It's helping Stranger Things. And they didn't even have to give us anything. So there we go. Super Tenor jumping in with a $2 says the J.J. Abrams School of Writing mystery boxes. LOL. Yes. Unfortunately, that is the way people are writing lately, where you never have to really have a satisfying conclusion. It is tough to stick the landing no matter what when you're writing. That's why you should always start with the ending first. And the Duffers, I guess they technically did by saying, we want to end it on a Dungeons and Dragons game. But they didn't have the ending figured out, like, oh, there's going to be a giant spider monster and it's going to be totally anticlimactic and we're not going to sacrifice any of our main characters. No one of real consequence is going to die. There's going to be no stakes at all. Most of it is just going to be like Steve and Dustin and Jonathan and Nancy like hashing out their beefs and everything like that. And then when it comes time for Will to have his big moment, no one will even care, because it's going to come at the tail end of an episode after we've already seen people talk and bullshit for scenes that went on way too long already. Yeah, they didn't do that. They didn't have all that figured out. That's for sure. All right, Cooch. Ooh, Cooch. 4868 drops $100 Argentinian. I think that's a $10 here, because I think the yellow is $10 American. Thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate you. It says, hello from Argentina, or I will say in the actual native language, Argentina. I will wait until 12, then I believe in the ending of chapter 8. I believe. Yes, we are well past that point. We're not getting that 9th episode, but it's been a blast hanging out with everyone regardless. And it's amazing, guys. It's so encouraging to see how many people have joined us. Right now, we're at about 530 people. You guys know the episode isn't coming, but you're still kicking it with us, and that's incredible. And we reached our super chat goal, so I'm going to go for another hour. So get in your chats, be respectful, be cool. Let me know if you want to see like a, choose your own adventure where we write our own version of Conformity Gate. That could be pretty damn cool. We could do that live. We could do it live. We could even do it. We could start things out with, or even like, hey, which character is going to die? And we could do polls on the community side of things as well. So it could be very, very interactive. It could be really cool. So if you love Stranger Things and you just want to like, have a different version of how things ended for your head canon, we can definitely put that together. And Cooch4868, thank you so much for the $100 Argentinian. Really do appreciate you. And oh my gosh, speaking of Argentina, guys, when evil lurks, I believe it's cuando acecho maldad is cuando acecho maldad is what it's called in Spanish. Man, what a movie from Demian Rugna. Absolutely incredible. Hats off to, Argentinian filmmakers. People from all over the world are making fantastic films. It's very encouraging to see that it's coming from all over the place. So, yeah, a lot to be proud of. And I would love to visit your beautiful country. I'm sure there's a lot of fun to be had out there. And thank you so much for the super chat. So let's see here. I'm so far behind on the chat. You guys are absolutely incredible. Shout out to the mods Thank you so much, guys, for keeping things clean, keeping things orderly, all that kind of good stuff. Alia B R7F says, give me a mention. There you are. There's your mention. Hope you're doing well. You got some chickens there in the coop there in your icon. I dig it. I dig it. Either they're geniuses or they're the dumbest ever, says Swiftlet. Wow, I almost said Swifty. Walking Dead, bro. You want to see some Walking Dead content? Okay. I only watched the first 2 seasons. I didn't really like the second season, so I fell off the show. But maybe I should get into that. Maybe I should talk about why I fell off the show, even though I like the comics and everything like that. So might be worth it for sure. Let's see. Freshly Brewed Truth 5600 says, I was totally fine with the finale. Like, I did like it better than Volume 2. Basically, like, lowered my expectations. But Conformity Gate got me feeling even more dissatisfied with the finale. Yeah, that maybe they did it to gauge interest from us. They're like, oh shit, guys. Like, the Duffers will call Netflix and be like, they want it. They want it. Guess we should do it. And maybe we will get it in 7 months or something crazy. Who knows? Who knows? I just reloaded Netflix again just to see. I'm hoping against hope, you know? This is an absolute party. You guys are fucking rock stars. I am so beside myself right now. Like I said, usually I have about 30 people on average on a stream in here. And it's incredible. Like how amazing this is. We have over 500 people kicking it with us right now. And I'm going to be streaming here for another hour or so because you guys reached the super chat goal. So thank you so much. Let me know what you want to talk about. And if there's a topic that you really want me to hit, then you could send in the smallest little super chat. I just might miss some of because there's so many people chatting here. I might just miss it. You know what I mean? So let me see here. Ben Grimm is kicking it with us, one of our great channel members. How are you doing, Ben? I think I saw somebody say hello to you earlier on. I think it was sweet baby Ray. Ben says the Burrows about a bunch of elder people who deal with a monster in their neighborhood. Ooh, the Burrows. I have not even heard of this. Is this a TV show? It is. Okay. That's what the Duffer Brothers are doing. Is that what you're saying? Oh, yeah. Produced by Duffer Brothers. Okay. But it's already out, right? Is that what I'm seeing here? Oh, it's starting 2026. Okay. Okay. Interesting. But it's not connected to Stranger Things, right? I don't believe so. It is not real, but we can make it real, Christiki. Guys, Stranger Things is over. Don't bother yourselves. Thank you for jumping in, Arige 4180. Yeah, it's over. Well, we'll keep it alive with the conversation there. Stop glazing the last episode. We all know it was trash. Yeah, guys, take it easy on the spamming and all the weird stuff. I get it. There's a lot of people in here. It's like really fun to jump in and say, wild shit that isn't true. But I give my mods like full discretion to time you out or whatever. I guess we could use AI, but it would be cool. Yeah, I mean, clearly if we jump in on like a live stream and we're trying to write like a finale to a show, it would be tough to just sit there and like write out, dialogue with a whole shitload of people in the room, right? But I think what would be fun is to make big character decisions and big moment decisions, like do that through polls on the page or live polls would be pretty killer. And then maybe, yeah, I guess just to be able to get it done, if we're able to write out our scenes and how we want them to go, I could drop that into something like Copilot and be like, write this with dialogue, something like that. Unfortunately, we did not get that 9th episode. I mean, I don't know if it's unfortunate, but I didn't think that we were going to get one anyways. But yeah, nothing is popping up as of now. I'll reload again just to make sure I'm being totally accurate here. Yeah, no 9th episode. No secret episode, anything like that. Thank you so much for tuning in. We've got Argentina, we've got Brazil, we've had somebody from Denmark jump on in. Man, guys, let me know where you're at. Let me know which, if you're in the United States, let me know which state you're in. I'm curious to know. From is really good. Also, Walking Dead original, anyways. Yeah, I've heard really good things about From. Yeah, we could all write a fan fiction together, Katie. Katie and her dolls. How are you doing, Katie? Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, a fan fiction written by everyone would be really fun. Like, I don't want to take that task on myself, but I would love to do it as a collaborative effort with all of you guys. If someone directed their own version of Conformity Gate, it would be fire. Yeah. You might get like a cease and desist from Netflix at some point. I'm not sure. But as long as you didn't try to profit off it, I don't think they could shut you down. It doesn't look like it's going to be released there. People don't talk From because it's a small streaming service. Shows they were on Epix. Oh, I thought it was on some other streaming service. I've heard of it before, Fletcher. I just haven't seen it. The Final Fantasy just dropped over an hour and a half. I'm so hyped. It would be funny if they called it the Final Fantasy, because I guess, did the first Final Fantasy come out in the 80s? Yeah, it would have been like 88 or something like that. 88 or 89. Maybe even before. Fuck, I don't know. It's Game of Thrones all over again, I guess. I don't think it was that bad, although I haven't seen all of Game of Thrones, but it seems like everyone really hated Game of Thrones. Although, yeah, season 5 was pretty disappointing. Pretty disappointing. Guys, I want to check in on the poll here. Wow. This is fucking crazy, guys. 4 hours ago, I dropped this poll. Do you think the real Stranger Things finale is dropping tonight? There's over 4,300 votes on this thing. Holy shit. That's crazy. I'm going to close that poll, guys. I'm going to close that poll. Let's see what the results are here. No, but I Want to Believe gets 37% of the 4.3 thousand votes. That's fucking wild to me. I can't even believe I'm saying that. Yes, Conformity Gate is real, got 28%. Absolutely not, We've Lost It gets 19%. And maybe Strange Things Are Afoot got 16%. So thank you so much to everybody who participated in the poll there. I'm going to put another poll out there. Help us. All right. Have you subscribed, and will you be back to help us write Conformity Gate? I'm going to do absolutely. No way, dude. Wait. Who the F are you? And then I'm just here for the chaos. Addicted to chaos. That's my one Megadeth reference I got to get in on every stream. Thank you so much to all the mods again for kind of policing everything here. It's getting kind of crazy there. I see a bunch of chats getting removed, so I would imagine some people are misbehaving, Holy cow, did I miss more super chats? I don't think I did. Okay, there we go. Oh, there we are. Brett from Good Real Hunting drops in a 199er and says, for the mods handling this chat. Yeah, well, you're one of the mods, Brett. And not only is Brett a mod, he's also a channel member. So thank you so very much, man, for jumping on in and for showing a little love. This is crazy. Over 500 people here in the chat. It's kind of nuts. We got Vamsi Kalakuntla. Hopefully I said that correctly. I'm not going to try it again because I think I got it right the first time. All Netflix IG accounts changed their bio except the UK. Oh, okay. So, but if we went off UK time, that would have been way earlier today, right? So I'm still not seeing anything pop up. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Really do appreciate you, bud. Yeah, I don't think we're getting this, but But you know what you guys could let me do, because I've asked a couple times and I've brought up the notion of us writing our own version of this, is vote in the poll there. So we've already got hundreds of votes coming in. Subscribed, and will you be back to help us write Conformity Gate? I'm curious to know. Right now it's split 35% and 35% on absolutely, and I'm just here for the chaos, which I certainly appreciate, guys. I don't expect everyone that joins tonight to be like, oh my God, I'm a fucking Davey Deathray believer and I'm going to subscribe to this channel right away. But I will tell you this, if you subscribe to the channel, I think you're going to be happy, and I think you're going to have fun here. Not because of me solely, but because we have an awesome group of people in the community, and really supportive and really fun and really kick-ass. If it doesn't happen, it will not happen. That is true, and that is exactly what's going on here. Yeah, guys, immediate ban if you spam the chat. Erica's a goddamn rock star. Erica, I'm just going to take a moment here. Thank you so very much. Erica has been... Man, there's been some wild stuff that's gone on in the channel just over the past like month or so. But as soon as Erica jumped into the community, I asked her to be a mod because I saw what she did on other people's channels, and she has been in my corner fighting for what's best for the channel, and, you know, working with me. And she set up the Discord, which is amazing and really, really fucking fun. There's a spot on the Discord. The link is pinned in the chat, so you can join us for free over there. There's a spot there where you can self-promote. So if you've got your own channel or your own artwork or something that you're working on and you want to share it there, you can do that. We've got channels for talking about TV, for sharing memes, sharing music. We do a lot of watch parties over there. It's really, really fun, guys. So I just wanted to give a shout out, extra shout out to Erica for all the hard work that she does here. And yes, like Tia says, we are a cult. Cult Corner is what I call like the membership side of things. And guys, membership is as low as 99 cents a month. It's pretty wild. But yeah, Death Squad, everyone that subscribes and everyone that hangs out is a Death Squad member. We got our girl Ray saying Erica friggin' rules. Yes, yes. And I know maybe some of you guys missed this early on. I got the biggest crush on this girl Ray right here. Miss Online Filth. Just hearts and eyes, butterflies in my stomach every single day. I am just absolutely smitten and so very happy that Ray found her way into our orbit, and that actually comes through Erica. So not only do I think Erica is a badass mod and all that stuff, but she brought in this lovely, lovely person into my life, so to speak. So I said it earlier in the stream, but I wanted to say it again because we have a lot of people here, and I just want y'all to know I thought I was done, and I thought that I wouldn't, I don't know, whatever. I don't want to say anything too much, but 2025 was interesting, and I was like, man, fuck all that dating shit. And then you meet someone and you're like, no, this isn't happening. This isn't happening. And then you talk to them more and you talk to them more and you're like, no, this isn't happening. They're just going to laugh in your face. Like you have a crush on this person that like you haven't even like met yet. And you're like, no, I'm not going to say anything. And then everything that's in the fiber of your being says, nope, this is happening, whether you like it or not. And it was undeniable, and I just had to submit. So there you go. I'll stop embarrassing Ray at this point. I will stop embarrassing Ray. And yes, we are a very fun cult. We do love Erica. Erica is more fun than the Duffer Brothers. It's fucking true. It's totally true, guys. Let's see here. We've got a 1999er from Sorry I'm Late Again Today. Says, would you be concerned that future series will see the Conformity Gate hype and eventually it will become a TV trope? Like, so Sorry I'm Late Again Today. Thank you again for another 1999er. That's fucking amazing. Thank you so much. Do you think that like the Duffers kind of started this? It seems like is that what you're indicating here, that you think that they kind of started it? I think what will happen here, honestly, I don't expect creative types to learn very much from their mistakes because they make the money, right? So it's like, maybe some of you guys are sports fans and you're like, God, my team sucks. They don't win a championship. I want them to fire everyone. And it's like, well, if the owner's making money, that's all that matters to them, really. Like Jerry Jones, who owns the Dallas Cowboys, talks like, oh, I need to win another Super Bowl before I die. But his franchise makes more money every year than it did the year before. So he says those things, but like Jerry's still doing all right. There's no consequence if he doesn't win a Super Bowl other than like he would like, I guess it would save him face or it would like increase his legacy. But ultimately at the end of the day, like, what do you really care? Like, are the Duffers really sitting there thinking, gosh, guys, we really let people down? Like, the Duffers are like, wow, guys, most people are pretty satisfied. And a lot of people are saying they loved this last season. Our crew and our cast like grew up together. They were crying reading our scripts. We were crying watching the edits, and we're going to move on to our next show. Like, they're not sitting there thinking, oh man, there's consequences. Like, it doesn't prevent them from getting a job. They've already landed other jobs, and they already landed the spinoffs before season 5 even came out. So there wasn't even, not only were there not stakes in season 5, guys, there weren't any stakes for the Duffer brothers either. So sorry, I'm late again today. I will say this. I think that if there are people like you and me and other people that are in this chat that get involved in the creative world and they start writing a show or they create a property that gets the chance to find an audience or catch fire, then if they have our kind of mindset, I mean, the way that I would approach something if I came up with an idea for a show is I'd be like, I got to figure out the ending first. I've got to at least be able to map out what the last season would look like and how many seasons the show would be overall. Because I think that's a key too, is don't string along people too long. Like, they could have found a way to end the whole thing at the end of season 4, probably. They probably could have had season 4 be the last season. So I don't think it'll be a TV trope. I think marketing wise, yes. I think that if people want to, if Netflix or somebody like that wanted to, like, on the sly, hire influencers and content creators to like give something another little bit of second life in that lull or create a buzz, then I think that will come from the production side. So it could be a thing. It could become a thing, but hopefully, gosh, hopefully shows would just have better writing to close everything out. That would be my hope. Erica drops $2 and says, Ray, I loved you first. That's too funny. I'm just embarrassing the shit out of Ray, I'm sure. But I wanted everyone to know. I just had to let everyone know. Duffers they might not be Jerry Jones rich because he's like oil rich. But I mean, as far as like the creative landscape goes, for having only created one show, they're doing pretty all right. Yeah, they could write their own ticket, for anything they want to do from here. It's true. And I can't stand the Cowboys. I just think he's a great example. He talks about, he's like, I got to get me some glory hole. And it's like, Jerry, I don't think you know what that means. Don't think you know what glory hole means, bud. It is a real chat. Is it real or fake chat? Okay, that's what you're saying. There is no 9th episode. I'll just let you know right now. There is no 9th episode. Let's see here. Carlos says, why do I think that in the near future they could create a fan episode with things that fans would like to see? Just like what happened to Justice League with the Snyder Cut. Well, yeah, it's a little different, I think, in this case, because the Duffers, they saw everything through, right? They made all the decisions. Nothing was ever taken away from them. With Justice League, Zack Snyder was making the film. Unfortunately, his daughter took her own life, and he stepped away. However, even before that happened, they did bring in Joss Whedon to doctor up the script. And when he took his leave after his daughter had passed, Joss stepped in and finished the movie essentially, and retooled the whole thing. So the Snyder Cut's a little bit of a different feel. But Carlos, we were thinking about doing, and you can let me know in the poll that's in the chat right now. We could write our own version of Conformity Gate. It could be really cool, guys. So if you're new here, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can see those polls, because basically we can start, you could do the whole season 5. I think it would be cool just to do an episode that like, or just to write something that really is like the true finale. So not try to fix everything in season 5. That would be a lot to fix, but just write an ending. Let's bring some stakes. I mean, we can cook some actual steaks, but let's bring some stakes into the story. Not cooked steaks, but actual risks. Mike has been caught in some sort of illusion by Vecna, and he snaps out of it, and we start writing from there. So we could do something fun like that. Let's see here. If a porn company was smart, they'd be rushing out in episode 9. Yeah. Conformity Jizzgate. Something like that. Piggy says, is it me? Is it just me, or should Steve have died? I wanted Steve to live, but I think some characters should have died for sure. Jonathan, useless, gone. Will or Jonathan. I don't want Joyce to lose both of her kids. I think one of them should have gone now. Yeah. I thought Will and 11 were going to die because they're like so closely tied to Vecna that killing Vecna would essentially kill them. That's what I thought would happen. It didn't end up that way. Not even close, but yeah. Fret not, once the Paramount gig bombs, they'll pull a Russo and you'll get a Stranger Things Doomsday. And they'll bring in the X-Men and everything like that. Oh man, at least they put Cyclops in his real suit finally, you know. Always bet on nothing. Yeah. I mean, it would have been crazy for them to try to do literally just viral marketing for a secret finale. Like if they really did a finale like that, sorry guys, I need more water. I'm still getting over my cold. If they really did a finale like that, they would want to market it. They wouldn't want people like guessing. They certainly wouldn't want some small time YouTuber like me having over 500 people on his stream to give me any benefit. They would want to have the full benefit of everything, right? So yeah, I think that's kind of what we're looking at there. Should have let Michael Bay finish this show. Let's see here. What else do we got going on? Thank you for the reminder there, Erica. Really do appreciate you. What else do we got going here? Oh, hey, we've got another super chat. Johnny King drops a €5. I believe that's a €5. Says, hi, Davey. Dipped out of Scream YouTube a bit after Craven passed away. If you guys don't know, he is talking about Craven Something Scary, one of our horror YouTube community members that we unfortunately lost. But you and Horror helped me back slowly. Thank you for excellent content and for the welcome. Well, thank you so much, Johnny. I really do appreciate that. It is, I watched Craven's channel. He and I never collaborated or anything like that, but I would watch his channel and, I tune into Killjoy Jake and Night Watch Zone and all that. So I know he was really close with those guys, with their collaborative streams and everything like that. And it's crazy, man. It's like we've lost one of our community members. We lost just over a year ago, Raymond Malaber, and he was, an audience member, in our community. And it was something that happened kind of all of a sudden. No one was really expecting it. And, when you become a content creator, you don't think about those things. You think about like, oh, it's going to be so much fun to talk about the movies I love and see if, people relate with me and if the content resonates and if I'm able to like find, some purpose just outside of myself or just to be able to like exercise those creative muscles and everything like that. You don't sit there and think, at some point there's going to be loss, loss of somebody that you have collaborated with, who's a member of your community or someone who's very beloved by the community. So, I know it's been really difficult for a lot of folks in the space, and you know, when we lose somebody that we're close to, or we lose somebody that we love, really the best thing that we can do is to carry on and carry on in what we do, and then also, you know, keep them in our hearts, and in that way we're carrying on their legacy as well. So I totally understand needing to kind of take a step away for a little bit. I'm so happy that you were able to find your way back and you know, find some content that could sort of like, you know, slowly usher you back in, or comfortably bring you back into the fray. So thank you so much, man. It's very, very humbling and very sweet of you to you know, to drop the super chat and let me know. I've seen you over there on M's channel quite a bit. I love what M does over on Horrorism. I'm sure you know. So thank you so very much. It is very sweet of you to say that, and I'm happy you could find your way back in, man. Thank you. Triple M993 drops a $4.99 and says, "Don't you dare touch Max on dying. I'd be heartbroken." Yeah, that would have been wild. I will say this, and I've said this in streams before, but again, we have so many new people here. Holly doesn't need to be in season 5 at all. Max was enough. Max being trapped in Vecna's mind is enough. We don't need Holly there as well. We already have like the 2 Wheeler kids, and then they involved the Wheeler parents in a really big way in season 5 as well. So I don't understand what that was all about. To me, I think it really was just about, you know, spin-off bait, essentially. Not saying I would kill Max, but maybe she would be in the poll. I think the thing about this, Triple M, is if we agreed to write this together, you know, we would adhere to those polls. We would go Democratic. It would be true democracy, not representative republic or anything like that. You know, YouTube only lets me have 4 options. So maybe we would have to do more than one poll, because I'd like to see more than one person, you know, bite the bullet, but we could group them. You know, you could have certain groups. And maybe just take a look at all our characters. You know, what are there? There probably are about 16 main characters. God, are there 20? Let's go with 16. So we'd have 4 different polls, and yeah, 4 of them will be. And maybe we leave 11 out, because I do think she should not make it through the end. I think that's the right way to end the show, is to have 11 have to sacrifice herself so everyone else can have a happier life. It's just the necessary, you know, action that has to be taken. I noticed my hair is just looking ridiculous. So yeah, I'm not saying I would kill Max, but she'd be in the poll. So you got to show up for the poll there, Triple M. Thank you so much for the $4.99. I really appreciate you. Let's see here. Did I miss? I think I missed some people. Davey in my polls. It's all true. It's all true. Mandy, where are you, Mandy? There you are. 364 watching and 290 likes. Those are rookie numbers. We got to pump those numbers up. How are you doing, Mandy? Thank you so much for jumping on in. Hope all is going well out there for you, and we'll catch up after the stream for sure. Nightmare Files is hanging out with us. What's happening, Nightmare Files? Yeah, go on and sub. Dude, guys got a ridiculously successful channel. Congratulations on all the success. You smell terrific. Name that movie, folks. Name that movie. Jeff Overing jumps on in and says, Erica is hot. I think Erica is very, very pretty. Yes, absolutely. You know what, guys? We're fortunate. I think we're a good looking group. I'm just going to say that. I think the Death Squad, I might be partial. I think the Death Squad's a pretty good looking group. Definitely. Definitely. Kayla says, we are actually so delusional. Well, you know, it's all made up fantasy that we're talking about anyway. So, you know, I guess you could call somebody delusional just for liking, you know, fake, you know, show that's not based on reality. I guess you could just, you know, say you're delusional for being a fan of anything that's like fantastic. But it's just, you know, it's fiction. Fiction can be fun. Name that movie. I think that might be the same movie. Might be. Marley Mars says soap opera shows do this all the time with younger characters aging up older than they should be. Oh yeah, are you talking with Holly? Maybe. Yeah, I think they just wanted to hire a really good actress, so they got Nell Fisher, who was in Evil Dead Rise and fucking killed it over there. Nothing against the actress. I think Nell Fisher's amazing. I think she did great as Holly. But thinking about it from a storytelling standpoint, there's no reason why Holly has to be this important character all of a sudden. It's just kind of dumb, you know? All right, let me see what we got here. I admire food. Is this really the account, the picture that I'm seeing here? I certainly know this account. This is a massive account on YouTube. I'm not going to assume either way. But I admire food jumps in with a 1999er and says, what exactly was the mind flayer pumping into the kids? I know they coughed up dust like particles, but the constant pumping would most likely burst their lungs unless they were swallowing and excreting. Oh, so you're saying that when they rip them out of those pods, there should just be tons of shit spilling out as well. That would have been a choice. That would have definitely been a choice. Well, I guess their lungs wouldn't burst if they're able to breathe out of their noses. So were their noses covered too? I can't remember. But yeah, you know, this was something I was mentioning later. And thank you so much again for the 1999er and for the question. I really do appreciate it. I was talking about this earlier. Like, there were no stakes even with those kids. You know, 12 kids inside that thing. I figured by the time it woke up and started doing shit, that meant that like some of those kids or all of them got to be kaput, like dunzo, right? So yeah, I thought the kids were like batteries, and the mind flayer, or whatever we want to call the kaiju, was basically sucking energy out of the kids so it could be alive. So they couldn't even get that right. But yeah, that's an interesting thought when you break down like the science of it all, that there would be only a certain capacity. I always thought, because it's the same thing that Will was having pumped into him. So yeah, it's weird. They never explain it, because it benefits Will on some point, right? Because Will gets superpowers whenever he's near Vecna, which I was hoping Will would like feel the superpowers more as he got closer to Vecna, but it didn't really work that way. But yeah, it would have been interesting if they at least sacrificed some of those kids. Some of them didn't make it, something, even though we don't really know them. So it's not like that really counts as stakes necessarily. Gosh, you guys are wearing me down. My throat is all dry. Okay, so let me see if I can pause this. Trashbox Mandy, one of our great channel members and one of our Death Squad mods here, just gifted 5 Davey Deathray memberships. Thank you so much, Mandy. That's really, really sweet of you. The 5 people that received the channel memberships, we've got Nightmare Files, hell yeah, gifted a membership. Johnny Keen 37, love it. Only Sans Horror, our guy Darren Sands out in the UK, from the Slaughtered Lamb Movie Podcast, a friend of the channel, I would say. Brandon Collins 1225 as well, and Leeching on Peaches 6937 all got gifted at channel memberships. Welcome to membership, guys. We are close to 70 channel members. And you know what's really cool for all you channel members, just so you know, every month that you have your membership, you can post a chat in here, and it looks like a super chat, but it's called a membership chat. And it's really cool. It lets us know how long you've been a member. We can celebrate that milestone together. And we can just shine a light on the fact that you are a channel member, which, you know, I love everybody that comes into the streams and hangs out and is a community member. There's no requirement that you have to financially support the channel in any way, but the folks that are able to and choose to do that, I'm so very thankful for each and every one of you. You guys keep things moving over here. And for all you channel members, I want you to know, Horror Movie Club 2026 is the first year we're doing a horror movie club. Every week we are independently watching a movie, and every other week we're going to hop on a members only stream and do a deep dive, kind of like a, you know, like a book class or like a literature class. And we're starting off with the Scream films leading up to Scream 7 releasing, I believe, on February 27th. So keep an eye out for that, because our first meeting is going to be here in just over a week. About a week and a half. So keep an eye out for that. And thank you so much, Mandy, for purchasing the channel memberships there. Look at that. Stephanie's been a member for a month. That's what I'm talking about. We can celebrate that channel membership. You can even send in a little message, kind of like a super chat. So it's really cool. Or, you know, a lot of people just want to share that they've been a member, which is fucking sweet. Let's see what else we got going here. I thought I saw something else fly through, but maybe I just maybe that was just coming through on the... Oh yeah, okay. See, I see it. I see what's going on. Let me check that poll here. Holy cow, over 1,000 votes. We're almost at 1,100 votes here. Have you subscribed, and will you be back to help us write Conformity Gate? 36% of you say absolutely. 31% say, I'm just here for the chaos. Like, fucking leave me alone, bro. Like, I don't even know you, Davey. I don't even know you, dude. 21% say, no way, dude. Like, fuck you, guy. And 12% say, wait, who the fuck are you? So I'll take it. 36% of you say absolutely. I think that's actually pretty sweet. If that many people actually subbed and keep their subscriptions, then I'll be excited to check and see where the numbers are at, because that'll put us like very close to 3,000 subs, which would be amazing. You guys are awesome. I mean, even if this is your first time and you may never jump back into the Davey Deathray channel, I really do appreciate you kicking it with us for sure. Look up the definition of duffer and read it out loud, says Seth Rakes, 1991. Man, Seth, in this picture, you look a lot like Kurt Cobain, my guy, if that's you. Okay, duffer definition. Oh, are you guys ready for this? Y'all ready for this? The definition of duffer. It is a derogatory term, and it means an incompetent or stupid person, especially an elderly one. So the Duffer Brothers don't fit that last part, not quite yet. They're still relatively young. I would imagine they're a little bit younger than I am. I'm, I'll be 44 this year. I'd imagine they're probably in their late 30s, something like that. But also a duffer can mean, the second definition is a person inexperienced at something, especially at playing golf. I've never heard that one for golf. But the Duffers are a couple of duffers, aren't they? Aren't they, Seth? Oh, that's great. Let's see what else we got going on here. Unfortunately, it is not coming. I know, I'm so sorry. We are not getting that 9th episode. I think we all know by now, that there's not. We've just been chit-chatting. Yeah. Runtime of the finale to see if it changed. Last I saw it was still 128 minutes. Let me double check. So yeah, it's still 128 minutes. There's no extra episode or anything like that. So I'm not seeing anything new here to report, Erica, but thank you for checking or letting me know to check. They wasted a chance to make history. What a shame, says Janan Hassan. Beautiful name. Yeah, Janan, it is. I mean, they still made history, right? But man, they could have. I think they had the opportunity to make like a show that would have been like top 5 of all time for a lot of people. I mean, when you think about the shows that most people say are the best ever, people bring up like The Sopranos, Breaking Bad is another one. I'm trying to think of what else other people might say in there. I'm trying to think of stuff that's like a little bit older. But yeah, I mean, even Better Call Saul, a lot of people say that that's like one of the best shows ever. They could have been like a top 3 of all time, and I'm sure for some people they are. But yeah, it seems like they could have had us all hook, line, and sinker. Yeah, they kind of blew it a little bit here. Oh, the Duffers are 41. Okay, so they're right around my age. We would have been in high school together. Yeah, let me make sure I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Mandy drops a $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Mandy, and says, sorry, I gotta go. All the love and hugs to you all. Right back at you, Mandy. Give Nat all of our love and you know, we're still going to be sending you all those positive thoughts and prayers and everything for you guys. So thinking about you, and we'll talk soon. Okay, guys, I think we are wrapping things up. I've been live for about 2 hours now. This has been absolutely incredible. It breaks my heart to hop off a stream when there are like over 250 people here. Like, this has been unreal. But I've reached the point, because I've been drinking so much water to keep my whistle wet, that unfortunately I have to use the facilities. It's gotten to that point, guys. So I think I should sign off and quit while I'm ahead. If you guys want me to keep on hanging out, I can turn the camera off. I can turn the mic off. I can go use the facilities. We can come back. We can keep on talking. Christine wants me to keep on talking. Tia wants me to keep on talking. Take a walk, brother. So we can keep this thing going. We have 275 people. I wonder if I use the restroom, how many people are we going to lose? But you guys can also, you know, chat amongst yourselves. But if you guys want me to kick it for a little bit longer, we certainly can. But, you know, we're at that 2 hour mark. It's kind of a sweet spot. I might keep it going, Jeff. I don't know. What do you guys say? How about it? I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. Be nice to each other. If you have a question or something that you want me to address and you don't want me to miss, because I might miss it if people keep on chit, then you could send in the smallest little super chat, and I'll make sure to see it. So I'll be right back, guys. Be nice to each other. Don't make Erica, you know, bite off any fingers or anything. All right. What's happening, guys? Holy shit. So we did lose some folks. Let's see who else we can bring in here. But let's see here. I'm going to bring up a couple things that we haven't even talked about yet. Are we all trapped in Vecna's illusion? I guess that would have been an interesting way for them to really cap this thing off. I'm just jumping right in. You know, it is odd that things ended so relatively happily for everyone. Everyone seems pretty well adjusted, pretty happy with how their lives worked out. Of course, Mike is like, I'll never love again, but whatever, dude. You're like fucking 18. Like, you know, yeah, very few people end up with the person that they're dating when they're 18 anyways. And I'm just gonna be honest. Mike and Eleven didn't have very good chemistry, anyways. I was like waiting for them to smooch. When they finally smooched, I'm like, fucking finally! Like, what their hormones would be so crazy. Like, remember in season 3 with like the 3 inches on the door and everything like that? Guess that just went away. They're not really passionate or anything with each other. But I've just noticed that in modern storytelling, anyways. But it would have been a really cool thing if they dropped this episode today and they did this whole thing, like an extra like layer of meta on top of everything of like, no, you've just been trapped in the illusion. Like, God, it would have been really awesome. We got to work that into when we write Conformity Gate, because it sounds like that's something we're going to do here on the channel. And I don't think I mentioned it when Mandy was in the chat, but I will reach out to her. Mandy and I are buds, so I'll reach out to her and I'll let her know, like, hey, we're going to do your choose your own adventure for our own secret finale of Stranger Things, which could be really cool. And then the other thing I just wanted to touch on, and then we'll get back to you guys in the chat. The Ghosts and Goblins connection is interesting. Like, this was, I don't know how many of you guys are old heads like me. Again, like, I'm in my early 40s. I grew up with the Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES, or just like we called it back then, Nintendo. And dipshit Derek is playing Ghosts and Goblins in the beginning of the season. However, he's playing the arcade version, even though he's sitting with an NES. But what they're showing on screen is the arcade version. And I think the reason why is because the arcade version looks so much more beautiful. The NES version was ported by a company called Micronics. They weren't very good at what they did. It's still a fun game to play, but my God, that game is tough as fucking nails. And the thing about Ghosts and Goblins, you beat the game once, and it says, this room was just an illusion. And they send you all the way back to the beginning of the game. You have to play through the whole entire game again. And I think on the second to last level, you get a special weapon, which is like a holy shield. You have to hold on to the holy shield. If you do not beat the second to last level with the holy shield, they make you start that level again and get the weapon. So it does make you go through again. You have to beat the game twice to actually beat Ghosts and Goblins, to truly say that you've beaten Ghosts and Goblins. And I did think that was like part of the cool thing when I was seeing, the stuff that Erica was sharing with me about Conformity Gate, where I was like, that would be cool. Because I believe it's Satan, Satan is who, basically in Ghosts and Goblins, you're fighting the devil. The devil has stolen your girlfriend. It's fun. A tale as old as time, sometimes the devil is your girlfriend, which would be a totally different kind of video game. But yeah, it would have been interesting if they did it that way. I think that's a pretty cool clue. But then also, now that we don't have the episode, I think that they just wanted to drop that, a classic NES video game that a lot of people would recognize and be like, oh my God, that game's so tough. Ghosts and Goblins is like right up there with like Ninja Gaiden and stuff like that as far as toughness goes. So yeah, I thought that was kind of a cool connection there with Ghosts and Goblins. Let's see what you guys are saying here in the chat. Oh, it's not going to release. I don't think so. Yeah. Mrs. Critic After Dark says Duffers are probably pissed the fans came up with a better ending than they did. Yeah, it's got to be interesting for the Duffers right about now. I wonder if they're even paying attention. They probably planned some awesome dinner or something to go to and left their phones at home or something like that, right? Because, man, the comments section, if you go to like Instagram and you look at the comments on any of these posts, even the Netflix posts that are unrelated to Stranger Things, it's all, when are we getting episode 9? Pretty interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting question there, Inferno Games. So this is what I brought up here. Let me see. So this is what Google tells me. Fans dubbed the movement, quote, Conformity Gate, because they felt the epilogue's perfect resolution, where characters settle into traditional frictionless lives, betrayed the show's core themes of nonconformity and breaking cycles. Believers argued that Netflix was performing a, quote, fourth wall breaking experience, making the audience victims of Vecna's mind control, just like the characters. So I guess calling it Conformity Gate because the fans are felt like they have to conform to accept it. I guess that's what I read from that right there. Yeah, I love Ghosts and Goblins, and I've never beaten it, but I still love it, and I love playing it. I really love Super Ghouls and Ghosts on the Super Nintendo is pretty fun. There's a double jump mechanic that's pretty exciting, but I love just Ghouls and Ghosts on the Sega Genesis. There's an arcade version of it. It's the true sequel to Ghosts and Goblins, Ghouls and Ghosts. And I've never played the arcade version, but man, on the Genesis, it's really nice. It is really, really good on the TurboGrafx 16 as well. Yeah. Let's see here. What else do we got going on here? Oh yeah, Ghosts and Goblins, really fun. If you can play it, like it's tough as balls, but it's like very rewarding as you kind of figure it out. Look it up, Jeff. Watch people go on like because people will do like no damage runs on these, you know, like without using assist tools and stuff like that. It's friggin' crazy to watch people beat a game like Ghosts and Goblins without any damage. Duffer Brothers suck 430 million for that? Yeah, where did the money go? 430 million just for that season? Is that what it cost? Because man, it looked really cheap at the end, Smitty. Yeah, the more and more I looked at the finale, like the battle scene in the finale, like it looked really cheap. I mean, the monster looked great, and the scope and the scale of the kaiju was really, really cool. But all the close-ups on our characters and everything, I'm like, oh my god, this is bad. This looks bad. Looks like some video game. Dave, Vecna will kill one person in 1987 for you. Who are you picking? I'm picking Bruce Springsteen. He's a dick, and we could erase so much shit music. I am not a fan of Bruce Springsteen, so I would be okay with that. That is some dark shit, picking a real person to kill in 1987. That is dark. I don't know. I don't know if I want to answer that. I could pick somebody evil. I'll pick somebody like Saddam Hussein or Jeffrey Epstein, or, you know, like somebody that like no one would really miss. Some people would miss Bruce Springsteen. I would never wish anyone that, like what you're saying. I'm not a Bruce Springsteen fan, but I would pick somebody that was like a total, like a piece of shit in so many ways, right? Oh, that's a wild question. Thank you so much, Leo. Appreciate you. Dupper's scrambling on Chat GPT to make a 9th episode because everyone thinks they're geniuses. What if they do it as like a comic? Like, so after the Buffy show ended, they did like season 8 or whatever as a comic. They might have even done more than that. So they did follow up the show, with comic books. But they could do something like that with Stranger Things. I mean, there are way more horror comics out there than I ever knew existed. My buddy Cecil from the Horror Show channel, like, he has shitloads of comics. Like, the dude has been an avid collector for so damn long. Like, he's a tried and true comic book fan. And man, there are franchises where you're like, that's got a comic book? That's got a comic book? I mean, even Event Horizon, they just put out like a prequel comic book series for Event Horizon, and that's just one movie, not even a franchise. So they already have Stranger Things comics. I think there's like 20 of them or something like that. Cecil covered them. So if you go to the Horror Show channel, you can check them out there. And there's novels and everything. So we could see, a continuation of these characters that we know and love, outside of the medium of streaming television. But I think it would be really cool in about 10 years if they did like a one-off or like a 2-parter episode where we do bring the cast back and they just age them up. So if it's 10 years, let's say it's at the end of the 90s, or maybe they do put it in 1999 and we get some more prints, so maybe they jump forward 12 years and the characters would be like right about that same age. You know what I mean? Could be pretty cool. And you could have like a millennium, like Y2K. Oh, that's an interesting idea. Maybe it's not. I think it is, though. I think it is like a Y2K resurgence of like the Mind Flayer and the Upside Down. I don't know. Let me know in the chat if you guys dig that. And if you're having fun, make sure you hit the like button and make sure you've subscribed. Absolutely. Let's see what else we got here. Uh, Fletcher throwing out his pick there. I think we could go worse than that, though. I think we can. I think there are definitely worse people out there for sure. Duffer Boys flopped bad, mad plot holes. The one true Slav 82. Love the icon. Michael Myers is my boy, bro. So you got a friend in me. If you have not subscribed to the channel, or this is your first time hanging out on the Davey Deathray channel, I am a Halloween nut. Michael Myers, I love him so much. I've got like 8 of those fucking masks. It's my favorite slasher franchise of all time. It's not even close, even though I do really love Friday the 13th as well. I think Michael is king shit as far as slasher icons go. Yeah, I think there are some pretty damn big plot holes. I agree with you, the one true Slav. Where the fuck did Victoria go, or Vicky, or whatever whatever her fucking name is? Where'd she go? Susie, gone. No explanation. Argyle, you don't need to explain him being gone. But Susie, she was like a bigger part of the story. Where the hell did she go? Erica doesn't really do much in season 5 either. Like, she's there at the beginning to like poison. What's their last names? I can't even remember dipshit Derek's last name. I know his last name's in the title of the episode. So in the beginning of the season, she does some stuff, but not really anything after. She's just hanging out with the science teacher later on. It's not really a plot hole, but I think one of the bigger plot holes was like, what is Vecna doing? He's just sitting around. He's literally just sitting and waiting. He's not preparing an army. He's not trying to do no contingency plans. It's been 2 years in the time of the show. Max has been in a coma for 2 years, right? When he has to send the Demodogs after Max, he uses Will to like find her. Dude, you had 2 years to like know where she was, and you could have also just assumed she was in a hospital if you knew she was like in a coma. Like, they're not just going to keep Max like in a trance like state, like in one of their basements, and then also you could just like send the Demodogs out there if she's not in the hospital. Yeah, there was some weird stuff in there. I did also have a really tough time believing that Vecna would actually be scared of that cave. Like, they told us he was scared, but I'm just like, why? Especially like, because when Will is like, dude, you can fight the mind flayer, it's using you the way that like you've used us, and blah 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 blah, and Henry's like, no thanks, like I like this arrangement. So if you like the arrangement, then everything that happened in that cave with the guy that you had to kill and the stone that you held that like turned you into this evil creature, like, you're okay with all that too. Why would you be afraid of the cave? Weird shit. Hopper and Joyce, no recollection of Henry Creel, not even after they find out that he's the real big bad. Also interesting. Yes, the Duffers said that they didn't cut anything from season 5, which I can tell because Jesus, dude, season 5 was way too long-winded. So much fat that could have been trimmed. A lot of time wasting, not good editing. And then Netflix did debunk it earlier today as well. But we still jumped on here, like, you know how us fans are. Like, we kind of hope that there's going to be something there, even when there's not. I just don't think it's going to happen. But we are going to write one here. In fact, let me check on that poll right now. Guys, we have a poll in the chat. Almost 1,500 votes here. Have you subscribed, and will you be back to help us write Conformity Gate? And 37% of you are saying absolutely. So that is very encouraging. Thank you guys to all the new subs. I'm going to do everything I can to keep you guys around, I tell you that. And I can't wait to see you all in the next chat, and I can't wait to see you guys, create friendships and bonds in this community, because that's one of the big things we do here with the Death Squad. So we talk horror. We are here for the ups and the downs and all that stuff. We don't talk about the, of course, we leave all the politics and all that kind of stuff. Like, that goes out the window when we come here. It's a place for all that stuff to wash away. And we just get to nerd the fuck out and be pals with each other. So there we go. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Holy cow. It looks like I am missing stuff. Joe from Media Poop Shoot drops another $5. Thank you so much, Joe. Really do appreciate you. Guys, if you have not yet subscribed over to Media Poop Shoot, this is what's really cool about Joe. I'll tell you guys again, because I said this at the beginning of the stream, but it's been a while and we got some people in here. I met Joe at a Silent Night, Deadly Night screening. He pretended like he was going to sit right next to me in a theater that was almost empty. And I thought that was a pretty funny joke. That's a risky joke. When a guy walking up to another guy that he doesn't know trying to make a joke in public, that's a risky move. It paid off. He was like, "Oh, I guess this is my seat. I'm just fucking with you," and goes down to the end and sits in his seat. And it's not even at the previews yet. And we just start talking, and I tell him that I, do this over here on YouTube, and he tells me that he just started something on YouTube. And what's really cool is Joe has got like his own way. That's what I really appreciate. And I'll get to the super chat here that you sent in there, Joe. But Joe's like cadence and everything, it's really cool. It's I don't know if there's anyone quite like him out there. I'll say that, because most people, when they do this kind of content creator thing, they got like this bouncy kinetic energy. Like this is just kind of the guy I am. Like, you guys get the genuine article. If anything, maybe I hold back a little bit because I want it to be more presentable and professional. But with Joe, what's really cool is there is this really, his cadence has like this patience about it, and it actually allows you to think. And I really, really appreciate that. So I just wanted to throw Joe a little extra love, because this is the third super chat Homeboy has sent in. So Joe says, "I just posted a short on this, but do you think movie and show studios are taking notes? Could you imagine a rug pull like this? Revolutionary. It would be amazing for a show to do something like this in the future, to purposely do it and to set it up." So I don't think the Duffers set it up, but I think the fans, and I'm pointing to myself, but it's not like I did the digging or anything like that, but the people out there in the internet sphere found all these little things and made these connections and thought they were seeing hidden clues everywhere. That I think, you see what you want to see, is kind of what happened here with Conformity Gate. But yeah, Joe, I think that if they had that idea going into it, like, guys, we are going to do our finale, and then I think the only difference, Joe, is that there would be a last minute marketing push. Like, they would wait that week, and like the day before, they would be like, guess what's coming? Because I think the companies would want to benefit somehow by being able to sell advertising space, that kind of stuff, build those financial relationships, economic relationships, to benefit yet again on the back of a show that everyone thought was over. And then boom, surprise, surprise, the veil is pulled. The curtain comes, gets pulled back as well. And we see that there's a whole another act of the play ready to go. I mean, that would be incredible. It would be absolutely incredible. It would be a rock star move. At this point, now that we've been faked out, I hope somebody does it. I'll tell you that much. Like, I would love to see a TV show do something like this. Even if it's just a one season limited series thing that does it. Like, somebody should try something like this and see what kind of numbers they can pull, because if it proves to be successful, it will be duplicated. It will be replicated by others for sure. Thank you so much again for the super chat, Joe. Really appreciate you, man. I'm gonna catch up on the stream here. Free Stranger Things from Netflix, Freedom of Art. I'm looking for fan art, episode 9 scripts. I wonder if there are some out there already. There may be. I wouldn't be surprised. We done gotten, y'all. It's true. It is true. It is all true. Thank you so much, Jeff. I really appreciate you, man. I love doing this. I love hanging out with you guys. I never, of course, when you do something like this, you're like, wouldn't it be cool if this became my job? And I'm very far from that, but I'm having so much fun. And, it's, you guys make it worth it, Jeff. You guys make it worth it. Yeah. Of course, you got it, Joe. You got it, man. All right, guys. I think we might be naturally kind of coming to a close here. It's been about 2.5 hours. That's a pretty epic stream. I really do appreciate you guys, hanging out here, especially you new folks. I'm curious to see where we're at here. Just so you guys know, they're still kicking it with us. When we started the stream today, I was at 2,290 subscribers. And right now we are at 2,419. So we've picked up about 140 subs. So that's pretty awesome. That is pretty epic, man. I really do appreciate you. We're at 2,420 right now. So yeah, if you're watching this after the fact, and especially if you've stuck around this long and you're watching this after the fact, thank you so very much. Make sure you hit that like button. Throw the channel a sub. If you end up not really digging it here, I totally get it. But at least throw a sub. See if this is, you know, something that's up your alley. I do a lot of live streams. I have guests on quite a bit. I cover horror movie and TV news and all that kind of fun stuff. I usually go to Bloody Disgusting for my news. So if you want to keep up on news for like the Crystal Lake show, the bigger franchises, new movies that look pretty interesting and are generating buzz, like I cover that stuff here on the channel as well. So you can kind of catch up with your news and not have to sift through all the articles yourself and find the stuff that's interesting. And when new stuff drops, all of a sudden, I've got a handful of people that are always kind of trying to give me the scoop or making sure that I'm not missing anything. So much appreciation to the folks that do that, and just trying to keep everyone, you know, on the inside track alongside all of us other horror nerds here. So really do appreciate you all for jumping on in. Let me close out this poll here before we get going. Let's see here. So we're at over 1,500 votes on this one. Let's see what the results are. What do you guys think of my background music? So nice, isn't it? Oh my gosh, come on YouTube. There we go. So we had 1.5 thousand votes. I think it was close to 1,550. Have you subscribed, and will you be back to help us write Conformity Gate? 37% of people said absolutely. 31% said I'm just here for the chaos. 20% said no way, dude. 12% said, wait, who the fuck are you? Which I think is a pretty appropriate response. A lot of people probably are like, what the heck is going on here? Let's see. I want to make sure I'm not missing any chats here that are coming in. Eddie Michaels 16 says, Dave, leaving out Ryder and Harbor because they will continue to have great careers, but who do you think out of the rest of the main cast will have the biggest acting career? I think Sadie and Kiri. I definitely think Joe Kiri's got the magic, Eddie. Spree is really fun. I think Cold Storage looks like a lot of fun. Cold Storage to me is like Night of the Comet meets Big Trouble in Little China. It's got this throwback 80s feel, secret government organization, some sort of a zombie or reanimation kind of gook, you know, that's been leaked out. Liam Neeson's character is coming in to kind of clean it up. So that's like kind of Night of the Comet sort of feel. And then Joe Keery, man, he kind of gives me, he's not as big as, you know, not as built, at least now, as like Kurt Russell was. But I really do get that Kurt Russell vibe. That's sort of like everyman, great hair, good looking dude, can kind of pull off the what the fuck is that sort of thing. And just the everyman that you can root for. And he's so natural in his performances. That's one thing I've noticed from Spree. And I think he brings that in Stranger Things as well. But he looks to be the kind of guy that can kind of do whatever he wants. And I think that's very encouraging for his career moving forward. Sadie, I guess I'll have to see her in something else. I don't think I've seen her in anything else. So I would say, like, I think Finn Wolfhard, like, his acting chops are pretty damn solid. Season 4, he's great in season 4. Season 5 was just, it wasn't a great sample size for, I think, a lot of the people. But I think Gaten Matarazzo's really good. I think he had some tough lifting to do in season 5. And I loved his graduation speech, the way he pulled that off. And you know, even though I didn't like the writing as far as like him and Steve having to bicker for most of the season, that's not on him. I think he performed it really well. And everything with him and Eddie in season 4 was really good. So I would say Gaten Matarazzo, Joe Keery. I guess I should be nice and fair, and I should pick one of our female players. And I think it's going to be Nell Fisher, man. Like I said, I loved her in Evil Dead Rise. I thought she was so good in that. And then, so when I saw her get cast for Stranger Things to be the new Holly, I was like, well, that's solid, man. Because in Evil Dead Rise, she is even younger in that movie, and the performance is so strong, so natural. She's a British actress. She does a great American accent. She's got this a voice that's a little raspy. There's like a lot of character to just her voice. So I think that she could really pop off as she gets older. It'll be interesting to just see, you know, where her career takes her. Let's see here. Okay, guys, I think I am gonna, oh shoot, we got a super chat coming in. Boom, look at that. Last super chat sends in $19.99 and doesn't even say anything. Last super chat just coming in and being the last super chat. Wow, now I'm curious to know who this person is. I think that's pretty awesome to have an account where your goal is to cause chaotic good. Gonna bring it back to the Dustin graduation speech, causing that chaotic good by throwing some love here to the Davey Deathray channel. Thank you so much. Last super chat. You are super, super sweet. How about that? And I think that is going to wrap it up for this one, guys. We're over 2.5 hours, so I'm going to give my voice a break. I am going to have some dinner, and I'm going to see how embarrassed I made Ray by confessing my feelings for her on this live stream. I mean, she knew about them, everyone, but I wanted you guys to know that I am just all mushy and gushy and goo goo gaga over that online filth girl that we call Ray. Let's see here. I saw, oh yeah, I like Finn, but I think he's more passionate about music. I think his music's pretty all right. Yeah, it's, you know, a lot of people make music like the style that he does. But you know, he's good. So I think he could do both. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Joe Keery, Gaten Matarazzo, and Nell Fisher. God, I hope her name really is Nell Fisher. Now that I'm saying it, I'm like, did I fuck that up? Did I fuck that up? Anyways, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this one. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Big shout out to our Patreon members, our YouTube channel members, our Death Squad mods. You guys are fucking awesome. Thank you for keeping it clean. It's been a wild stream for sure. I think we peaked at over 600 viewers. That is absolutely incredible for this little channel. Thank you to everybody that's brand new. If this is your first time, come on back on Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, it's going to be a late one. Sometimes I like to go when other people aren't going. You know what I mean? We are going to do a live tier maker ranking of the 2025 horror films. So you guys, it's going to be audience ranking. You guys get to rank these and stack them up against one another. So I'm just going to play MC and kick it with you guys, and we're going to chat about these movies and everything like that. But that'll be a really fun one, and it'll be really rowdy, especially if we get, you know, hundreds of people in here. So make sure you come on back, hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing, and keep an eye out for my top 10 horror movies of 2025, as well as my top 10 worst horror movies of 2025. Oh my gosh, am I going to get in trouble? I might get in trouble with my top 10s, guys. You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you so very much. I love you all. And until next time, I've been and will continue being Davey Deathray. Take care.